very big welcome to Whistler and a very big welcome to the world. Day number 7. It's all about Crankworx Whistler going on today. And we saw the official whip-off championships presented by Spank. That was earlier today. Then we had the Red Bull Joyride discussion with, of course, T-Mac, Aaron Chase, and Ryan Meyer. We broke it all down for you on that. But Jackie Montgomery joining me right now. Jackie, let's talk about tonight and what's going on here.
Still a lot of action to be had because we have the Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox about to go down. Now, this event used to be up on the course where fans would have to hike up to get a sneak peek, but now we have brought it down to the Whistler Olympic Plaza so the fans can get up close and personal with some of their favorite athletes.
And I know you can't wait for that because it is coming your way. The finale of day number 7 here at Crankworx starts right now.
Hi, I'm Brian Lips.
I'm Mitch Roblot.
I'm Jill Kintner.
You're watching the Pump Track Challenge.
The Pump Track Challenge.
Presented by RockShox.
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 Live
from Crankworx.
Crankworx.
Live from Crankworx Whistler.
Here with Cy Patton, and we are at the Whistler Olympic Plaza, and right behind us is the Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Now, Cy, break down what's about to happen tonight.
Yeah, we've had the top 8 women, the top 32 men. They've qualified. They're going to race on the left lane, then they're going to race on the right lane. We're going to combine those times together, and then it's going to be a straightforward knockout, 16, down to 8, down to 4, then into the finals for the last 2.
Now, the competition is about to get underway. It'll start at 7:30 p.m., but join in on the social media conversation. All you have to do is hashtag Crankworx or use @Crankworx to get involved with the convo. Now, before we get to the competition, let's go to the Joyride panel that happened earlier today with my boy Brad J. and Ryan Meyer. They sat down with Tyler McCall and Aaron Chase.
And welcome to your first ever Red Bull Joyride preview show. For the first time ever, bringing this one to you. Brad J, 10-year announcer here at Crankworx. Enjoyed alongside Aaron Chase, pro free rider and judge. I got T-Mac right here, pro rider who is injured right now, not able to compete. And of course, we all know partner in crime, Ryan Meyer, pro rider, and now doing the MC thing. All right, guys, welcome to the show, preview show. Chase, I want to start with you. Besides the usual suspects that we'll be seeing out there, besides your Salmonuk, your Missouri off that fresh win, who are other guys you think could get it done here at Red Bull Joyride 2014?
Man, there's almost too many to count, but I really like Anneke Beerten. He's one of these young guns, really has nothing to lose and a lot to show everybody.
All right, same question to you, T-Mac. If you're looking at the list, obviously you want to be out there, not able to compete, but who are you looking at, you think, who could
I would love to be out there myself, but man, it's so hard to pick just a few favorites. There's so many, but I've always liked to watch Cam Zink ride. It's kind of terrifying because you never know what he's going to do. But I know he's been practicing some big things. He was riding at my house up before here, and he told me his run that he's thinking, and it's pretty terrifying. But I think if he pulls it together, it could go real well. So we'll see.
I mean, and a guy who's, of course, a 2-time winner, member of the 2-timer club when it comes to the Joyride. Then Ryan Meyer, of course, question to you. Who are you thinking, man? I always want to hear what your opinion is on this one.
I like what Ty was saying. You know, it's always super crazy watching watching Cam go down and do his runs. You really have no idea what he's going to bring to the table. But I don't know, we were talking about this a little bit before the show, the French boys. I think Louis Rebaud, who just got himself in, and as well Tommy G, I think they've been riding so good this year. And I love their style. I really enjoy watching it. And I think it could be one of the years where style is getting the credit that it deserves in slopestyle. And maybe we have a run that doesn't have the most progressive tricks that we've ever seen. But they are so dialed and have so much flow and style put into it that maybe we'll see one of those guys on top.
All right, so Chase, over to you now to talk a little bit about Brett Reeder now. Of course, yes, last year he was out due to injury pretty much most of the year. But he came back this year, took a win out there in Colorado. You think he's back on his game right there and he has a chance to win maybe?
Well, he better be, because I know that there's a lot of people talking about him, and he has got to be right up there next to a guy like Brandon, but without the pressure. So I think Brett's going to be coasting into this with some steam.
Now, I'm a fan and always have been a fan of PlayStation Greg Watts. Now, you're friends with him, T-Mac. Now, Greg Watts has been solid, just missed a podium not that long ago. So he seems to be back on his game. He's healthy. He told me he's not too injured. You think Watts has a chance to return as a champ?
He's always, I mean, he invented a bunch of these tricks that all these kids are doing now. He was kind of the leader of all the, kind of bringing the BMX tricks over, and a lot of people forgot about that he's the one that started doing that. But I live with him now. We ride together every day when I'm not hurt, but he's definitely on his game. He's got all the combos, throw 3 bar spins in any maneuver he's doing, and no one will even see it happen. So he is kind of lacking the oppo tricks. I'd say that's his kryptonite, and that's a lot of things that the new generation kids have. So I'd say that's his downfall, but I think he can make up for it in the big combos.
All right, so now let's talk a little bit to you, Ryan Meyer, about the heavy hitters. Obviously, we talk a lot about Brandon Semenuk. Brandon Semenuk, a 2-time winner, and also 5 times he's been on the podium. He's been on the podium more than any other rider in the history of slopestyle. Can Semenuk come out and do it again and do what no one has done and win 3 of these things?
Well, if we're looking at the history sheet, he's been on the podium much more than any of the other riders. But as well, if we look at the results from this year, he hasn't been on the podium at all. So I think that's something to consider. He's stopping doing contests as much. He's taking a seat back, I feel, and doing the filming and kind of, you know, he had a little bit of a mix-up. He led his out for Crankworx. And I don't know if we're going to be able to see Brandon on top. I mean, you can never, ever rule the kid out. He has some of the most impeccable style ever on a mountain bike, on 2 wheels, on BMX, on anything. He's just so incredibly intuitive with that stuff. I think you could always see him there, but this is massive pressure for the kid. It's one of the most, the biggest mental game for him, I think, is this Whistler crowd, his hometown crowd. And we've seen it done before, that he's had so much pressure into his runs. He messes up on the last jump, stuff like this on an easy trick. And I think it's more of a mental game than does he have the tricks to compete.
Well, the pressure, of course, has been on him, and the pressure was on him in Late Alp. But let's take a look at his run from Late Alp earlier this year. It's Brandon Semenuk. Take a look at this. All right, you guys, so here is it right now. Everything normal. He seemed like he was on his game, but then he took his first run.
Yeah, I mean, him coming in, everyone thinks he's going to be on top, so it's a lot of pressure. And he started off really good, you know, flip bar spin in and truck driver out. It looked like he was off to a good start.
Yeah, and he was tricking pretty much everything as well. And that's the one thing I never expect to see, like missing pedals like that on the tail whip. I mean, that's very uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah, little bobble there, and it seems like some riders, if they have one bobble, they can kind of like react and not let it get to them, and Brandon just does everything so perfect that one little bobble kind of throws him off, except for that 3-6 flip right there. That was beautiful.
You know what, and these courses are just super long. I mean, the bag of tricks you have to have has just got to be super deep. Semenuk's arguably got the deepest bag of tricks, but if you can bring it all and lay it out there and really remember your run, because I mean it's just full of bangers.
Yeah, and then that whip. I mean, two whips in his run that he kind of messed up on. I mean, the first one it wasn't super bad, but the second one I couldn't believe that he went down on a trick like that.
All right, so let's talk about the pressure thing. Now I know this is a big thing. You bring it up. Is he under too much pressure, Aaron Chase, to be able to come back and get 3 wins?
I'm going to say it's Semenuk against the world right now. I mean, he would have a mountain of pressure, heavy shoulders coming into this. This course really resembles what he has in his backyard. So.
Okay. All right. Do you agree with that, T-Mac, that the pressure is a little bit too much for him?
I agree. I mean, I don't know. Everybody wants to be Brandon Semenuk. Seems like he has a life to live, and you always want to be your hero until you live a day in their shoes, and he has so many projects going on. But I think this is what he sets his goal to. But like Aaron said, he has everything he needs to train at home. So I think that helps out a lot.
You know, I caught up to him earlier today and just said what up to him and talked to him for about 10 minutes. And he was all smiles. He was happy. He wasn't looking any direction, like going just skittish or anything like that.
He seems focused.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so maybe that's a good thing for him, right?
When we talk about pressure, I mean, for the last 4 or 5 years, it seems that whenever we come to contest season, Semenuk is really stressed out. Within the last couple of years, when he's been doing Life Behind Bars and his whole entire film series, he seems to have really mellowed out. And he has this, like you said, you know, he's all smiles and games. People used to say he was like a cold soldier, and and he's really warmed up to stuff. He's not. I feel like he's relieved a lot of pressure by not doing all these contests, which I think could as well it could be a good thing for the Crankworx event.
Maybe it's like aging like a fine wine, right? He's getting a little mellower. Yeah. He's handling it differently, right?
He's got a lot of experience in this game, man.
Yeah.
Sure
he's
does.
still young, but he's been around for a while.
Now let's talk about another guy who had a very incredible showing out there at Ladies Alp. I'm talking about Anthony Mazzeri, and there was talk. I mean, when Anthony Mazzeri came into the game, 15 years old, he gets on the podium in 2011, grabs 3rd place. Everybody was thinking the world of him. This kid's going to go places. He's going to be on the podium every single year, and we didn't see it. T-Mac, why is that the case?
It's just when kids are that young and they blow up that quick, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot to handle as a young kid, and he did a good job with it. He had a lot of really good runs that would have gotten him on the podium, and then he just kind of doesn't have that experience yet. Kind of cracked under the pressure, but he's 18 now, and I think he's got everything it takes now, and he showed it in Europe at Crankworx France, and he showed he has a whole package now. He's not screwing up anymore.
Okay.
He's got potential.
Well, let me cut you off for a second here. Okay, so in Ladies Alp, a lot of people are saying, I heard the rumor mill, whatever that is, rumor saying that was it a real legit win for him because Pilgrim was not in, Soderstrom was not in.
It's always a legit win. Those riders weren't in for a reason. I mean, they weren't able to compete, or they couldn't take their runs, or they crashed out because of competition. All competitions are legitimate. It doesn't matter. Like, those riders weren't able to have their runs that day. You know, like if somebody's saying, "Oh yeah, he didn't win because Brandon didn't do his best run or whatever." Well, no, Brandon crashed.
And Brandon was in the
so he was there, man. That was a legitimate win.
Yeah, but now if Brandon's not in the competition, or if Reeder's not in the competition, Pilgrim not in, Soderstrom in, does that win still mean the same thing, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, we got to think about this guy's a kid. He's here to have a good time. He's having a great time, and I think he's absorbing the culture. And I think if a win comes his way, he's stoked.
All right, why don't we take a look at his winning run from Ladies Alp? Anthony Mazzeri getting his first ever big win, getting on the podium and winning a diamond event. Here he is right here. Talk us through this one, Ryan, the second run.
Yeah, well, we had just seen him kind of had a lot of pressure on the last stuff, and I mean, every time we see Anthony at a contest, since he came out here and kind of spread his wings in Whistler, and we always wanted to see him on top of the podium. And like Tyler was saying, he's always had these banger runs that could have definitely made it there, but he's just kind of cracking under pressure, has like a huge crash in practice because he's going too big, something like that. But it seems like he's really maturing up to it. Tricks like this, hitting the open loop a little different than most other guys and tossing a bar in it, like really clean on his whip there. I thought it was really nice to see Anthony pull it together once. And I think that kind of it set his a precedent for him for this year. I think that maybe he was a lot of people were questioning what is Anthony capable of, because he's been he signed with all these big sponsors, Red Bull included, directly after Joyride pretty much when he was 15 years old, I think, and we haven't seen these contest results that we've been expecting, not even many podiums. And for him to come out here and win, I think that was probably the biggest thing in his career, and it's probably the confidence boost that he needs to stay up.
Okay, so there was talk to, I want to bring this up to you guys, of course, T-Mac, you're heavy in the competition. You still compete. I know you're injured right now, but situations, people were saying that Mazzeri had a chance to possibly lose sponsors if he didn't start showing up and getting on podiums. Did you believe that same thing?
I don't know if there's any truth behind that, but I think he did have a lot of pressure. This is where he made a name for himself, and he hasn't really delivered since then. And he always has a lot of pressure at this event, but we know he can do well here. This is where he made his name and had his big breakthrough. So I think people were just expecting a lot out of him. Everybody was. He's one of my favorite people to watch ride. So when I saw him kill it in France, I was more than stoked.
Nice.
So yeah, I think everybody just wants to see him do well. So.
All right. Well, there's so much rider input when it comes into the courses out here at Red Bull Joyride. The riders have so much to say. And what do you guys think? Just gut instinct on this course, Aaron Chase, this year.
Well, it's looking pretty nice out there. You can tell that these guys have been working hard at it.
Yeah.
Will weather play a factor or anything like that? But so far, it really looks nice.
You liking a T-Mac too as well?
I want to be out there so bad. I loved it
killing
last year, and this course is an improvement off last year. It's based on the same kind of mold, and they just made everything that was a little funky last year even better. So So yes, I'm very jealous, and I think it looks great.
I like that they capitalized on everything.
Yeah.
As well, I think the build crew is phenomenal here. I mean, they have riders like Dustin Gilding, who we're kind of familiar with. Locally, he has some of the sickest trails. And the thing with that is that you have a crew that's able to build this stuff to perfection and then test it. And I think that's something that really helped this year, is that it seems like when the riders showed up, they were just able to go and ride it perfectly.
Okay, so why don't we take a look at the GoPro course preview, courtesy of Brandon Semenuk and the Claw. Take a look at this right here.
All right, here with Brandon at the Red Bull Joyride course. Brandon's going to take you through a bit of a guinea pig on this awesome course here. So let's check it out.
All right, so right here, this is where you're all psyched up. They announce your name and come around. Same start as last year. I heard this drop's a little bit bigger. It's pretty big last year, but big is good. This used to be an up cannon, and now it's an up box, kind of loose. Takes your speed away. You had too much speed last year, and this just looks like a perfect trick step up. So see a lot of bankers on that, and into the big SRAM curve wall ride. And then this is where you're going to see a lot of oppo, back-to-back stuff, 4-pack. I think every course needs this. It's perfect, and we practice a lot of stuff both ways, and that's where people can show. That's where people like Brett Reeder will shine. This is a big up cannon this year. It's a lot steeper than usual, so I think that'll be good for flipping and all that. 2 hips both ways. Some people are better hipping left, some people are better hipping right. So do whatever you want there. Step up onto the cabin. Nice little landing, and then this is a scary big drop here. Nice little steep landing. Cool little feature here, just kind of Dustin Gilding showing off his digging skills, little toilet bowl. And then last feature, this is where you're getting nervous, butterflies are kicking in, you want to show off to everyone down in the village. You can get a trick in, trick out, and you're going to do well. And if you made it to here, you're pretty stoked, because that's a great feeling. So good course.
Let's send it down to Jackie Montgomery with Patty K. Jackie?
Thanks, Brad J. I am up here with the mastermind behind the Red Bull Joyride course, Mr. Patty K, who is no stranger to course design. Now, PK, aside from this log cabin feature that we saw last year, this whole course is new and improved. What did you do this year?
Yeah, it is a complete redesign this year, and it looks very similar to last year's course as far as the line, but every feature is kind of moved around on the slope and tweaked for speed and flow, and it all comes from feedback from the riders and just learning every year from the build and the event.
Now, you talk about that feedback. What sort of feedback did the guys give you that you integrated into this new course design?
Yeah, it's tons of feedback, and most of it is just managing speed and brakes and the size of the features, and just having everything built one after another so that it's as safe and rideable / trickable as possible.
Now, there are 10 different features on this course, whether it's the long bridge into the drop-in or this log cabin behind us. We're going to take a look at this whale tail to finish things off. What features do we need to be keeping an eye out where these major tricks are going to be going down?
Yeah, good question. I think the beauty of this course and all 10 features is they're all very trickable. We'll see all kinds of technical stuff going on, but I think the ones to watch out for are the ones that really send you in the air, like the up box. We have a cannon log mid-course, and we also have a step-up jump, and those are, you just go in the air and hang there, and you have lots of time to do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Let's talk about these last couple features. Is log cabin behind us one of the signature pieces of this course?
Yeah, the log cabin's been in the course for a few years, and every year we kind of rebuild it and tweak it. This year it's moved downhill, and it's higher in the air, and we had enough time to wrap this sweet cedar deck around it.
All right, and then as we walk around here, we have the guys from the log cabin will go into the snail berm and then into the whale tail that we have behind us to finish things off.
Yeah, the lots of cool feedback on the snail berm, and it was just put in there to make room for all the features and the courses that all come together here at the finish. And actually today in training we saw a few tricks going into this thing, so the judges need to put a new line on their judge sheets.
So now 11 features, basically, is what you're saying?
Something like that, yeah.
And then what about this whale tail that is behind us that'll kind of cap off this whole event?
Yeah, the whale tail's fairly technical, as it has a trick in, trick out, and it's not massive, but it's big enough that we'll see all the crazy tricks and nice big landing so these guys can stick it to their tires and get cheers from the crowd.
Of course, we want that big wow factor right there at the end in front of the what? We're going to have about 80,000 plus here on Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We'll see how the weather goes.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us, PK and myself, on the Red Bull Joyride course. Brad J., back to you.
Thank you so much, Jackie Montgomery, catching up with the man, the myth, the legend that is Patty K. Good stuff out of them. Okay, now, Aaron Chase, is this the best Joyride course in the history of slopestyle here at Crankworx Whistler?
I have been to all of them, actually.
That's why you're a good person to ask.
I could weigh in on this. Well, let me think. I think in order for it to be the best Joyride course, we want the wow tricks, the biggest moves, and this looks like it's ready to go. It looks like the scene's set and it's ready to get teed up. So I'm going to give it a huge thumbs up and say yes.
T-Mac, the question to you, because it's killing you, you're not riding it, but what do you think? Is this the best course?
I think this might be the only one I've never ridden, but I don't even have to ride it to know that it is the best course. Just talking to all the riders, they say it, and I think we got an awesome crew of riders this year.
Yeah.
Everyone who's in it deserves to be in it. So I would love to be out there playing with the boys, but I think it's a great course, great group of riders. I think we're going to have a really good show.
Ryan Meyer, you're
yeah,
the
totally.
question.
I completely agree. As soon as the first time I saw that course preview with Brandon, I mean, we got the 4-pack, we got big drops, we got hips for both ways of hips. I think it's perfect course. Perfect.
Something we all can agree on right here, the Red Bull Joyride.
Pretty rare.
The course that we all love. All right, well, big props to you. Thank you, Aaron Chase. Thank you, T-Mac and Ryan Meyer. And that's it, your first ever Red Bull Joyride preview show in the books. Well, it is your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. That's coming up for you in just a little bit. Stick around, day 7, Whistler, right here for Crankworx.
You miss me? I miss all of y'all.
I can see it the way you like. I can do it the way you want. I'm motorcycle. You got a license. You got the right to crash.
And so much fun going on here at Crankworx Whistler, and you can see the Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox coming your way. Our final webcast here for today, and what a great pump track they have put together. They do every single year since we started this thing way back in 2010. I think that was the first year got underway. It's your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. That is coming up for you. Brad J here on the mic. I'll be joined with Ryan Meyer in a little bit, also Cy Payton as well. But Ryan Meyer had a little bit of work he had to do today. We sent him up on the hill for the official Best Whip presented by Spank. And here's Ryan Meyer breaking it down for you, as only Ryan can do. This is Ryan Meyer.
Could he get any gnarlier of a spot to decide to film a whip-off contest? I'm here standing on top of the biggest jumps you're ever going to see in a mountain bike park. Crankworx Whistler, this is Crabapple Hips. We're up here on the mountain for the 2014 Crankworx Whip-Off World Championship presented by Spank Components. all the biggest names in the business. I see Travis Pastrana in front of me, Nitro Circus crew. Everyone's on this. Thomas Vanderham, Ryan Howard, Graham Agassi. Everyone's getting over 90 above my head, and we're just going to have to see who's going to take home the gold this year.
I'll tell you what, that is such a core event there. The best whip going on there. Ryan Meyer breaking that down for you. We'll be coming back for you in just a little bit. We'll be joining with Ryan Meyer here in just a little bit because your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox, that is on the way, the finale, if you will, here for day number 7 here at Crankworx Whistler. We'll be right back with more right after this.
If the country is wild, get a 4x4. If the country is big, get a 9-speed transmission and 44 miles per gallon. If the country is rugged, get comfortable with full-grain Napa leather and technology to keep you on the right path. And if the country is Canada, get a Jeep Cherokee. Ajax 2014 Canadian Utility Vehicle of the Year.
The weekend's here and we're ready to roll. We kick it off and snag these new Bud Light Quickies. These slim cans get cold fast, then we head straight to the beach. When we're ready, they're nice and frosty. Watch the sunset by the fire and we break out the tunes. As the night cools down, things really heat up. Next day, we head to Dave's cottage, pop some quickies in the cooler. They get icy in no time. The games begin and TJ busts out a jig. Someone shimmies, someone shakes. We dance like nobody's watching, but everybody is. Summer's here and these little quickies get cold fast. Perfect for Bud Light living.
Pretty exciting stuff. Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Now we're joined by my partner in crime, Ryan Meyer.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man? Was that fun up there hanging
Oh,
out?
I'm good, man. Oh, that was so fun. Do you see me squatted down there, like trying not to get hit? I don't think you could see. I was squatted on one of the second last jumps, just kind of like huddled under, so people were whipping over top of my head, dirt flying everywhere.
Were you worried about getting hit right there? Take one to the noggin?
Yeah, I had this stupid idea of saying, yo, let's film right here. And then I get there, and it was a really sketchy spot.
All right, so there's something going on, which is a fan favorite vote that's going on Crankworx.com.
Yeah.
Can you explain that for the best whip?
Yeah, so basically we've taken 4 of the best whips that we had out here. Bernardo, Andreo, Aggie, and the last one would be Finn. So our winner from the whip off, but yeah.
And so you can go to Crankworx.com and you can vote just as
exactly.
a
So you
spectator?
guys go to Crankworx.com, check out the whips for yourself. We have perfect video angles of them. It's just ridiculous how whipped out these guys are getting. So go to Crankworx.com, make your votes, and you're able to select who you think should be the number one.
All right, so that's fun for the audience so they can play along, but who actually won it? Who did the judges say won that today?
Finn, the 14-year-old local boy, won. It was just incredible, though. His whips, like his bike handling skills are off this charts.
Was that legit? Do you think it was a legit win for Finn Isles?
Yeah. But doing the whip off, I mean, that's some really difficult judging as well, because you're looking at just a couple different degrees and angles of the bike, and you know, there's a few different styles, and it's hard to say who's really the best. But yeah, I think it was a fought-out battle, and he deserved it. He
You like the
deserved
pick.
it, man.
All right, well, let's take a look at Finn Isles going crazy here in the official whip-off presented by Spank.
And the crowd as well, they were loving, oh, look at how dipped out he gets, like so moto-inspired right there, like just second angle there from the back. Oh, just loving that kid's style, man. And the crowd was loving him just as much. We had a little fun vote, cheer vote, see who can get the loudest, who they thought was going to win, if it was going to be Bernardo, if it was going to be Finn, and the crowd was going nuts for Finn. So, I mean, everyone else was on the same page as well as the judges.
Well, you bring up Bernardo Cruz, of course, he was the winner last year, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at what his whip was all about compared to Finn Isles. Now that we've seen Finn's, let's...
This is this year's, as well. So this is Bernardo Cruz from just earlier today. So as you can see, the back looks, get some, bud.
That's hard to call between Finn and Bernardo here.
Yeah, but you see they both have really sick ways of like whipping down, leading the whole bike all the way down and bringing it around. But fin as well, you can see, is a couple degrees more clicked on that. Well, from my angle at least. But if you have something different to say, go on crankworx.com.
Vote. Make it count. Go to crankworx.com and vote for what you think is the favorite whip. Okay. Andrea Lagondigi. We haven't seen him so much in some of the slopestyle competitions, but he's out there whipping, and he's got a whip too, right?
Oh, Andreas had some sick style as well as doing massive tsunami supermans, big backflips on the course, and just having a whack load of fun. Check out his whips. He has some real bike talent as well. Boom, and holding that gorgeous YT Industries bike sideways. Oh.
He really holds it. Look at this.
I missed out this year. Maybe I'll do like some helmet cam runs as well next year. But
yeah, maybe you could do the course preview for us next year.
Yeah, like Rob Warner style, super sketchy. Old man, never been on a bike. But oh, look at Andrea, man. Boom, so big, sick whips out there. And then I think we have one more, Graham Agassi.
All right.
As well.
You want to see it?
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Show us Graham right now. Roll the tape.
Boom.
And kind of turn down style too. He keeps that front wheel down.
Not fully getting it back the way the others did, but definitely having some good, unique style there from Aggie on that super sick Kona bike that they've come out with.
And what a big crowd, man. It was crazy up there.
It was really big. You know, that's the hard thing with whips, actually, when I was just talking about getting it back.
Yeah.
On a motorbike, you have brakes and throttle control to be able to maneuver the entire bike back. Mountain bikes, we ain't got that stuff.
No, it's a little
just
different.
full in the wrist movement, the feet movement, how you're able to maneuver that stuff around. And yeah, it's a big ring skill out of all those guys competing today. I think we had over 100 invited riders. We had 10 riders who were able to qualify yesterday and make their way into the finals today. So yeah, it was a really big turnout, super fun event, one of the funnest things going at Crankworx. But that's what it's all about, man, having fun up here in Whistler in the sun.
I call it like one of the coolest events out here for sure. All right, well, this is your turn to vote, okay? The judges, they picked who they thought Finn Isles was the winner. What do you think? Go to crankworx.com, go online, and you can vote and see how it stacks up. You think they're going to still pick Finn, or is it going to be like a contest of who's your favorite?
I don't know. It could go into a little politics with a couple of those riders. They have some more fame than Finn, but I don't know, man. Finn, 14 years old, what were you doing at 14? I don't think you were doing that.
Indeed. Pump Track Challenge, well, that's presented by RockShox, and you're waiting for it? I know you are, because it is coming up. Your Pump Track Challenge is on the way for it. The finale of day number 7, right here, Crankworx Whistler. We'll be right back. Pump Track Challenge. Stick around.
Is wild, get a 4x4. If the country is big, get a 9-speed transmission and 44 miles per gallon. If the country is rugged, get comfortable with full-grain Napa leather and technology to keep you on the right path. And if the country is Canada, get a Jeep Cherokee. Ajax 2014 Canadian Utility Vehicle of the Year.
The weekend's here and we're ready to roll. We kick it off and snag these new Bud Light Quickies. These slim cans get cold fast, then we head straight to the beach. When we're ready, they're nice and frosty. Watch the sunset by the fire and we break out the tunes. As the night cools down, things really heat up. Next day, we head to Dave's cottage, pop some quickies in the cooler. They get icy in no time. The games begin and TJ busts out a jig. Someone shimmies, someone shakes. We dance like nobody's watching, but everybody is. Summer's here and these little quickies get cold fast. Perfect for Bud Light living.
I don't think you'd be in a better place in this whole entire world than being here right now in Whistler for Crankworx. Your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. That is coming up for you. Now we are joined by Cy Payton in the booth. So Ryan Myers, Cy Payton, and Brad J. And Cy, you're probably pretty excited to get this thing going, aren't you?
You know, this is one of my favorite events here at Crankworx Whistler.
Wait, don't you say that on every event, dude. I'm just going to call you out right now.
I might have said that earlier when for the World Championship whip-off presented by Spankers. That was off the hook.
That was your favorite too, right?
That was my favorite this morning. This is my favorite this afternoon. This evening.
And the Enduro? I thought I heard the same thing for Enduro.
Enduro was his favorite the other day too.
Hashtag Enduro.
Oh, Cy.
It's
all
okay,
right.
Cy. I remember my first beer.
So, Cy, you always take us through the keys to the competition. I think we can put these keys to the comp up, and maybe you can explain these to us and tell us what the keys to the competition
Basically,
are
yeah,
about.
keys to victory here. How are you going to win a pump track?
I'm going to unlock this for you, Brad J. The start, you know, it's very key. This is going to go down to the 100th of a second, 10th of a second, maybe. So you've got to make sure you've got a great start next to the guy that's going to be stood next to you, or even the lady. Weapon of choice. There's going to be some riders out there on hardtails. There's going to be some on full suspension rigs. I'm going to say the hardtails, they're going to carry the speed. They're going to be able to pump through a little bit more. Some guys are going to be clipped in on SPDs. Some are going to be on the flat shoes, so maybe a bit more confidence in the corners. But picking up with the clipped-in shoes, that may be an advantage. And also, some riders will, of course, be riding semi-slick or even real super slick tyres just to make sure they roll super fast. And focus as well. You've got to focus on yourself and you in front of you and that track. You start looking to the side and seeing that rider pull ahead of you. You know, that could put you off your stroke and you could be in a lot of trouble.
Like you could be having a great run on it and then not pay attention right at the end and go over the handlebars. Oh, wait, I think I did that. That was something I actually did. So that's the focus. That's what you mean by that.
I keep trying to get Cy to race me. I think he's a little too chicken.
I think next year it's going to happen. There's going to be a race.
I tried to do it this year. He's backing out. He's like, you know, I'm 4-cross national champion.
All right, guys. Well, we got Jackie Montgomery standing by with Kyle Straight. He was the third place in 2013 and laid us out. Let's check in with Jackie and Kyle Straight. Guys?
Thanks, Brad J. I am with Kyle Straight, who won the Speed and Style event earlier this weekend, and now he is going up against his GT teammate, Mike Day. Is there any trash talking that goes on between you two?
I haven't seen him yet, but maybe so at the top.
Now, Cy, you were just talking about the full suspension
Couldn't say it
bikes
better.
versus the hardtail. You're on full suspension. Mike is riding the hardtail. Who has the advantage here?
I did say he has the advantage, but it's going to be a fun race and good course out here, so pumped.
Oh, no pun intended. Pumped for the pump track? Tell me a little bit about the course.
Yeah, it's good. It's all hard packed and ready to go, and it's actually super difficult with the big old gaps we have here. Highs and lows, you got to keep it going.
All right. Thanks for the time, Kyle. Good luck, guys. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jackie. It looked like a confused Kyle Straight there, and he shouldn't be confused. He's got a gold already, man, starting things out. All right, our first competitors are locked and loaded. That looks like Adrian
Heavy
Larone.
hitters.
Yeah. Adrian Larone, there you go, against Santa Kushima from Japan. Larone, you can see on the left, and Santa Kushima on the right.
So yeah, here we go. We have the top 32 riders. They have qualified through. They raced on either lane. Laron there on your left-hand side of the screen. He's already pulling ahead in front of that as he swoops into that right-hand berm. And I'll tell you what, that is so steep. It's almost like a skateboard bowl. Swoops it round. He's got to stay on line. He's got to stay to the right-hand side. As you saw Santa Kushima there, the Japanese rider, almost drifting across. But Adrian Laron, he's going to take that one by 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, nice little advantage that he got going after just a couple corners on that pump track. It's a small, very small pump track to keep up 0.8 of a second.
And you look at the Adrian Larone, too. I mean, he was the winner in Whistler, so he's the defending champ from last year. He also won last year in Les Deux Alpes, but this year in Les Deux Alpes, he kind of broke his thumb, so he's been coming back from that and trying to get back into condition. You guys, we saw his thumb earlier. It's got a pretty big knot on it, but since it's not bothering him now, we'll see if it bothers him as we get farther into this competition for sure.
Right, next up, who's this man on your left-hand side? The legend that is out of the USA, Brian Lopes versus the local Canadian Baz van Steenbergen. Young versus old.
Brian Lopes racing again. Okay, this is good. This is good to see. Whistler, you stoked to see these two out here? Okay, so Baz versus BL. Looks neck and neck as they come around.
Oh, that is going down to the wide, but look at that, Brian Lopes, plus 0.1 second on top. and seems to be carrying an injury at the moment on his left arm. Did have like a white bandage or something. I'm not sure what's happened to him there. Maybe that's slowing him down slightly.
Yeah, there's a look at Brian Lopes right there. First competition we've seen him in, he was not, we thought we were going to see him in some of the other ones, the Garbo DH. We thought we might see him in that, maybe the Fox Air DH, but Brian Lopes concentrating, just doing on pump track.
Yeah, I spoke to him just before the Air DH, and he was ready. He was pretty up for it until the rain came down, I think. And Eddie Masters there, I'm liking his the shoes that he's got. He was riding in flip-flops. We call them flip-flops in the UK. What do you call them?
Flip-flops. Flip-flops, sandals, same deal. Yeah, pretty big move going flip-flops on the pump track course, I would say.
Yeah, Eddie Masters. Pretty sure he was running those as well on the Whip-Off World Championships.
Yeah,
but Masters back by 0.33.
It's a bit of his signature style, isn't it?
So Chiron right there.
Doing it for all you boys in the crowd.
Flip-flops on the pump track. I don't know if that's the smartest thing, is it?
It's not something that I would personally run, but, you know, he seems pretty confident on them. You know, you look at those real big hits up there on crabapple hits, and he's pretty confident. He was whipping it out and still bringing it back in.
Is that Paul Bass?
Paul Bass
Paul
in
Bass.
the gates. Give a round of applause for Paul Basagoitia.
Yeah, two-time winner in slopestyle. Crankworx 04 and 05 went back-to-back. Here he is in the Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Paul Bass against Josh Fuller. Josh Fuller on the right, Paul Bass on the left.
Yeah, Paul Bass, the 27-year-old out of Minden, riding for Danes. So he's riding that Scott Voltage bike. Got knocked out by Zinc earlier on this week. We are under starters' orders.
So standing down just a sec. Remember, he's got a race on each side. So 2 races before you can decide who moves on here at your Pump Track Challenge, presented by RockShox. Lerone trying to go back-to-back. He won it last year here in Whistler.
There we go. We're under starters' orders there. Baz there trying to get a sneaky move on that middle section. He's pulled out. He's already 2 or 3 bike lengths ahead at the moment. Josh Fuller is on the back foot. He's going to have to catch up. And look at that. Paul Bass taking the lead there by 0.4 of a second.
Just great to see Paul Bass back in the competition side of things, seeing him here in the Pump Track Challenge. Yeah, it means so much. I mean, just think the first ever Crankworx 2004, Paul Bass was the winner in slopestyle. And then just to prove it wasn't a fluke, he went back and won it again the following year in 2005. So he went back-to-back.
Back-to-back-to-back. Yeah, I mean, that's some big stuff. And they got like some nice rings going on as well now. It's so nice to be able to see all the industry guys come together for this week, this long, gorgeous 10-day festival up here in Whistler.
Right, next rider's up. Right on the 113 plate there is Evan Ganafkar there against Bojan Magista. I hope I've pronounced that right. We're in the 16th here. These are the top 32. They're coming through. The guys next to me are laughing at the pronunciations. I'm sure I've got it wrong.
I've gotten it wrong, too. It's all right. So Evan Ginkopoulos, I think, would be the pronunciation, but I'm not sure either. But he'll take the advantage when they match up again.
I like the way you threw that over to me. Brad J gave me the elbow and said, you take these guys.
Well, I didn't know about Boan Magister. I did not know much about him, and I feel like an idiot on that one. So now we got Matt Walker, Arlian. Try that one. You got that name, right?
Orion Giordango there, the French rider against Matt Walker riding on the 30 plate, the New Zealand rider. He races his sister. She races BMX, first ever New Zealand Olympian. She's had a 2nd and a 4th at the Olympics. She has him out the gate, but he reckons he can have her down the 2nd and 3rd straight when the bumps and the jumps get a little bigger. Pretty evenly matched at the moment. Walker comes back, beating Aurelien Giordango there, the French rider, by 0.29 of a second.
And remember, of course, Ryan, we were out there in France, and Matt Walker ended up in 2nd to Brendan Fairclough out there, and also Matt Walker in 2013 2nd in Les Deux Alpes.
Sorry, Brad. Who was that you said? Bren?
Oh, yeah, B-Dog, right?
B-Dog. We've had a few elocution lessons, and I've been teaching Brad to say Brendan Fairclough.
Yes, you see I did the phonetics on it, right? So now Carson Storch, it looks like.
That's some get-up, man.
Is that Cody Johnson? Yeah, Cody Johnson to the right. Here we go.
I think he's trying to psych Carson out. Crop tops and all.
But Carson Storch there, scorching this one, the USA rider versus Cody Johnson. Johnson, has he got some of your clothes out of your wardrobe, Ryan?
Yeah, definitely. I think I had a break-in the other day. Were you there? You even stole my last year's mustache.
That was the stash you were rocking last year. Nice.
And you guys have got all the style going down here in Whistler. All the style.
Hey, Remy Morton now. Tomas Lemoine. Now they'll be matching up next. Tomas in third in ladies out behind Matt Walker. About a month and a half ago, here we go. Remy and Tomas.
Right, Tomas Lemoine there, the French rider. He's on a flyer at the moment. Look at this, man, through.
Tomas Lemoine was doing really good in ladies up as well. The pump track, super solid all-round rider. I mean, he has the dirt jump ability, obviously, coming third at the Munich Mash a couple weeks ago, the slopestyle event. But as well has super sick racing abilities. Proved it in ladies up. He went through quite a few rounds, actually.
All right, well, it's your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Thanks for joining us out here. We have more racing that is coming up for you. Don't go anywhere. It's all about the Pump Track Challenge. Back with more right after this.
This is where it went wrong. The final hit for Summoner. Danny Hart from the UK. Yes! Look at the speed of it, Rob. I would not do that in the wet. How does he ride like this under so much pressure? Only a few seconds away from winning the World Cup for the very first time. Stevie Smith attacks. Here he comes. Look at that time. I think I'm okay.
And we're back, and it's time to check you guys, the crowd out here. Are you guys having fun here at the Pump Track Challenge? That's all you got? Come on, people of Whistler, make some noise here. It's your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. And now we move on to heat number 9, round of 16. Gonna be Mitch Rope-a-dope against Kevin Littlefield. And Mitch Rope-a-dope, he went 3 in a row. Here we go.
Flashy and white, Mitch.
Yeah, don't get blinking for this guy. Soap on the rope, looking fast. Had this course pretty dialed in practice earlier. Had a little slip up last year. But look at this one, leading this one by a country mile.
Kevin looks like he had a little mechanical or something wrong. Looked almost like he gave up in first turn. Either Mitch really had some intimidation going on by first corner, or there was something else up.
He's also back-to-back champion. Think about it, 2010, 2011, 2012.
Yeah, look at that kit, man.
He's just going Mr. Clean.
I need to find out what washing detergent she uses.
Glad. Always glad.
And Lear Miller now. Looks like Lucas Shaw and Lear Miller. Miller on the left, Shaw on the right. Our next matchup here, heat number 10.
We're just under starters orders, ready for him to drop in. And that start ramp, as you well know, Brad J, is super steep.
I still got some stains in my drawers from that. Here we go, back to the racing action.
Yeah, Lucas Shaw there on your right-hand side, styling out in the shorts and T-shirt. Coming through on the left now as they swoop round. Who's going to take the win on this one? It's going to be close.
That was right down to the wire on that one. And the winner is going to be Lear Miller. I think is going to take the advantage when they match up again.
Saw Lucas gap out of the berm on that last one. Yeah, pretty sick. Double
Is that what it's going to take, too, on getting a good time?
I don't know. Actually, you saw them pretty much come out even, so I don't even know if that was faster. It's usually a little quicker staying on the ground,
think,
but
right?
sometimes if you have a couple chances to gap out there,
Yeah, maybe
might
double
work.
them up. Hey,
Eric
look,
Lornock in the gate with Fab Cousini.
Couscous. Nicely done. Here we go. Back to the racing.
Whoa, rubbing bars. Lorney, game face.
You know, you can see on that start ramp there, they've got to stay either side of that white line, and it is so, so close, elbow to elbow racing. And look at that, how close can you get to that 1,000th of a second in it? Fab Cousini just slightly on the back foot to Eric Lornock.
And Couscous just proposed to his future wife just the other day, so good to see him out here racing.
Nice to see Lornock is already dressed up for Jordy's party. Apocalypse Meow going on at the GLC tonight. Be ready to wear your favorite cat t-shirt and camo clothes.
I love it. You just did a party shout out. All right, straight over here. Now you got Kyle Straight. He's on the left. Mike Day.
Mike Day,
Nice.
BMX Mike Day is back.
Yeah, 365 Mike Day there. Didn't get the start of his life that he was looking for, that we might expect from the BMX pro rider. He's been an Olympian. He's hanging his shoes up on that style.
Not bad. Taking it by 0.15 to Kyle Straight.
Not wanted to be discounted. He could be the dark horse. You've also got Barry Nobles. He's going to be coming up shortly as well. So 2 BMX legends.
I like what you said. He could be the dark horse here because a lot of people might think that Kyle Straight was going to have the advantage on that one. But
Yeah, especially with Carl Straight. He had a, probably a 1/10 of a second head start. You can see Caroline Buchanan there, bottom right-hand corner.
You got Blake Carney now on the right, Sydney Slotcraft on the left. Here we go, Canada versus USA.
If you guys are just tuning in as well, we had qualifications going earlier today, so all these riders are just qualifying about the last 2 hours before we started here in the finals. Now down to the final few.
And Blake Carney there, he's going to take this one in front of Sydney Slotcraft there, the Canadian. And next up, we're going to have Walker Shaw versus Brendan Fairclough.
Fairclough, thank you for
Brendan Fairclough. Brendan Fairclough there riding that Scott Voltage on the right-hand side in the Troy Lee kit, full face helmet.
Free racer.
Oh, man. Brendan Fairclough, Walker Shaw, USA versus Great Britain. Here we go.
There we go, Brendan. He's got the snap. He's out in the front at the moment. He's super smooth. He's super stylish. Smooth as silk. You know what he's like on a bike. You've seen his whips, but can he keep it rubber side down? He has time to look over, beating Shaw by 0.3 of a second.
And you know what? I mean, that wasn't the hugest surprise there. You got to think Brendan Fairclough, after winning out there in Ladies Alp 2014. He was also second in the first year the Pump Track Challenge went off in 2010. He took second behind Mitch Ropalato. Remy Metallier coming up for you. He'll be versus Juiced Witchman on the way.
You know, Juice Witchman, 36-year-old, 2013 four-cross world champion versus Remy Metallier. So who's it going to be? Oh, look at Witchman there, slightly back, but he pulls it back. He knows how to manual and pump through that bike. The four-cross previous world champion. He comes through. He's going to take that one by 0.3 of a second. Remy Metallier, the local guy, 0.3 back.
So he'll look to try and make up the difference when they match up again. Welcome to your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. You fans having a good time out here? It looks like here Whistler's showing up and representing as they do. Day number 7 next up. Anton Wunsch against Barry Nobles.
Yeah, check the guns on Barry Nobles. He is, you know what? He got 4th in the speed and style back there earlier on the week on Saturday. Another dark horse. You know, my money could be on him or Mike Day. Watch Barry Nobles. Seems to carry an awful lot of speed.
He's got the pump on lock, definitely picking up speed going into that first corner.
Barry Nobles on your left of the screen there in the black t-shirt. Look at it, he's pulled it right back. He's got time to play. Nobles, 0.7 of a second in the lead. A convincing win. Laying down the gauntlet.
And Nobles just looking super comfortable out here on this Pump Track Challenge.
Let me tell you about Barry Nobles. I was talking to Caroline.
Those are the guns. Those are the guns
Those are the guns. I was talking to Caroline Buchanan, his other better half. I said, I've got some VIP tickets for up in the pink bike booth.
All right, well, let's check in with Jackie Montgomery, standing by with a special guest. Jackie, who do you got?
I'm up here with Adrian Laurent, who is the reigning champion here at Pump Track and Crankworx Whistler. But you broke your thumb in Les Deux Alpes. How's it feeling right now?
I'm pretty good now. It's not painful, so it's okay.
Do you feel any pressure right now to repeat as champion?
I'm gonna try to be the fast I can, and we will see tonight.
We will see tonight. All right, Adrien Laurent getting ready to drop in, guys.
All right, Adrien Laurent, yeah, and you know what? He had the sweep last year. He won it in Les Deux Alpes, also won it out here in Whistler. So, and he had that thumb injury in Les Deux Alpes this year, so that knocked him out.
Yeah, pretty cool to see Adrien Laurent come all the way up from France after winning that one in Les Deux Alpes.
Yeah.
And make it out here, and not just making it out, but winning, taking the gold medal away from Pump Track last year. So,
and that was the stop of Mitch Ropalato was trying to go for the 4-peat, and Adrien Laurent just got right up there and shut her down.
So let me just explain this to you. Kushima there, 0.8 of a second back at the moment. He has got to beat Laurent by that time. So he's on the back foot at the moment. The pressure is on him. Can he do it against the defending Whistler Crankworx champion? I don't know. This is going to be a tough one for Kushima. It's going to have to be the ride of his life. But you never know.
Yeah.
Laurent could make a mistake. Anything could happen. The pressure is on.
Well, we saw it happen to him in France. Ryan and I were out there for that one when he went down and messed up that thumb. So.
You know, you don't think that you're going to get too injured in Pump Track. I mean, that's something that a lot of these riders don't wear pads for, don't do anything, and you just a little washout, dislocate your thumb.
You're telling me?
And remember Win Masters last year? He crashed in the Pump Track, took himself out, looked like he'd fell out of the coach on the freeway at 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
Here we go. Adrien Laurent with a commanding lead.
Yeah, definitely commanding this one. Adrien Laurent looks like he's going to be a victorious one for him.
Yeah, Laurent taking this one by a country mile. He's going to progress through. Santa Kushima, he's going to be happy. You can't be too sad that you've been beaten by the previous champion, Adrien Laurent, can you?
If you're going to go out, that's a good way to go out, getting beat by somebody who's have some wins under his belt. Next matchup, Brian Lopes, Bas van Steenbergen.
Yeah, this one is going to be close. Lopes, 5 times consecutive winner of the A-lane race. He gets a sneaky start out of the gate there. Lopes commanding this one. He's in the lead at the moment.
I'm rooting for Bass, but
can he keep it going?
Oh,
Look at Lopes!
that was crossing lanes, Lopes.
Is that dirty match? Is that dirty pull right there?
Hey, that's just being creative, you know? You can be creative on a track. There's no white lines in the middle of the course. You can get those elbows out. If you were a 4-cross racer, you'd know that, boys.
Well, Bas van Steenbergen will take the win there, and that'll take care of Brian Lopes. He is done for the day.
4-cross is doing really well these days, I hear.
And Eddie Masters and Tyrone Ameline.
Yeah, I hear they're making it an Olympic sport. It should be great.
Here we go, back at it. Flip-flops, you gotta love it.
Flip-flops versus, well, I'll say the Vans against the flat shoes. What is going to be faster? We are going to find out in about 5 seconds' time. Eddie Masters crosses the line first, 0.1 of a second up.
But is it enough to take it?
Maybe it's not about the flip-flops. Yeah, so Emilion there, he advances Masters. He's going to have to go home and put some socks on.
And now Paul Bass on the right. Paul Bass going against Josh Fuller on the left. Paul Bass with the advantage by 0.47 over Fuller. Here we go.
Yeah, Paul Bass, he's in the lead at the moment. He's on that back wheel, pumping through that Paul Bass. We are rooting for him. Paul Bass is going to take this one easy. Josh Fuller, he can only look at the back of Paul Basagoitia there. Josh Fuller back by 1.96 seconds. Paul Bass is going to progress onwards into the 8s.
Those golden locks on Brad Bennett, a cute fellow.
Take our attention back out. Bojan Magister and Evan Giancopoulos.
Jackie looks a little cold up there. Cold, Jackie?
Giancopoulos with the advantage from their first matchup.
Right, Evan Galampras there, the USA rider versus the Argentinian. The Argentinian is 1.1 seconds back for Bojan Magister there. He's going to take another early bath, I'm afraid. But they've got the knuckles. These guys are all having fun here at the Ultimate Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox.
So the next matchup now, we turn to Matt Walker with the advantage over Aurélien And say that last name for me again, Si.
Aurelien Giodengo. Matt Walker on your right-hand side. We saw him at the whip-offs earlier going super fat up there, super large. He knew what he was doing. So Matt Walker at the moment racing against Aurelien, the French rider. New Zealand versus French. The French rider is slowest by 0.44 of a second. Matt Walker, he's going to progress through. Look at that, 0.7 up on the both combined times.
So as you said, Matt Walker now going to be moving on. Going to be facing Evan Yankopoulos. And let's check in with Jackie Montgomery. Jackie?
Yeah, guys, so just a heads up, Cody Johnson got sick, so I'd like to introduce you to my friend Jeffrey Johnson. How are you feeling tonight, Jeffrey?
Pretty good, pretty good. I had a lot of Red Bull, so let's ride.
Can you tell me about your attire right now? I mean, I know this is kind of like a big party, but what's going on here? You're really taking it to the next level.
Oh, this is my workout attire. I do 80s-themed workout videos for a profession.
Hence the mustache. All right, let's go. Good luck, guys.
That's a tough
I don't
one.
think that's fake, is it?
No,
that's real.
That's 100%
Totally real. 100% real.
All right, so the next matchup here, Carson Storch, Cody Johnson. Cody Johnson on the left, Storch on the right. Here we go.
Let's see if Storch can be a scorcher on this track. What can he do against Cody Johnson? Cody Johnson taking to double some of those jumps. Is he going to be faster to manual through? We're going to find out. Carson Storch.
Carson up.
Yeah, but was that enough to make up the difference? No, Cody Johnson's going to be moving on.
Cody Johnson advancing there through to the next round.
And
Carson was another one of our riders competing as well in the whip-off earlier today. So
getting
had,
some work in,
had a lot of bike time on.
Tomas Lemoine and Remy Morton here. Morton on the right.
Yeah.
Back to the racing out here for you. The Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox.
Tomas Lemoine versus Remy Morton there. Morton 0.3 seconds up. With a combined time of 1.26 down, so advances Tomas Lemoine there, the French rider. And we'd like to thank Adam Billinghurst and his trail crew building this superb pump track.
Been a lot of shovel time in there. Nice to see.
No, they were even sweeping that literally about half an hour ago, making sure it was super dull for the riders here. Right, Kevin Littlefield versus Soap on a Rope, Mitch Ropalato.
It's going to be a tough one. Mitch Ropalato, you see the advantage 1.0. Here we go. Mitch Ropalato, Mr. Clean.
You know, we did see him make a mistake. Ropalato last year went off course, took himself out of the battle. But is it going to happen today? I don't think so. Mitch Ropalato takes that convincing win. He's going to advance through.
We kind of know him as the pump track king, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, and I mean, if he got knocked out in the first round, which obviously he didn't, he's going to move on to the round of 16. But I'll tell you what, you look at it right there, he's not to disappoint. I mean, the guy won 3 times in a row.
You know, I was talking to Mike Hedder up on the ramp, and he was saying he just carries so much speed. He just knows exactly where to pump. And Hedder, as I tell you, he was telling me that Barry Nobles was the dark horse. That's the man to follow. Lucas Shaw, Lear Miller on course at the moment.
Lear Miller with the advantage. Let's see if he can keep that up and advance on.
I'm just waiting for that time to come up. But, you know, as the riders, we saw what Brian Lopes did. Little cheeky move, pushing himself across. Lucas Shaw's going to advance there, but there is no white line. You can do that, but you must stay on your own lane across the finish line itself where that post is, because that's where the timing cells are.
So now I think we got Couscous, Eric Laurenac.
Laurenac from the faraway lands of North Vancouver.
That's not that far away. It's a couple hours.
I'm glad you caught that.
All right, it's awfully quiet, and I think I need to hear from you people out here at the Pump Track Challenge. Can I get you people to make some noise for all the riders out here today? Come on, let's hear it now. Not you, Si. These people right here. They're the ones.
I'm excited though, Brad J. You don't know how excited I am. This is real racing. It's not really about the bikes. It's about the rider and the skills that they've got on this. You know, I'm not going to say a simple pump track, but it's there. It's all about the riding skills, about pumping through and carrying your speed and railing those berms.
And really watch this this pump track just changed over the years. From when we started up in 2010, we were way up on the hill and then brought it down a couple years ago on the Whistler's Olympic Plaza and put it down here for all to see. Bigger crowds, just such an awesome event going on here. Day number 7 here for Crankworx Whistler. It's a big old party, people having a good time. Stoked you guys are enjoying the competition right now. As we're doing a double check on that one. I almost thought it was Lear Miller that was supposed to be advancing on, but they have Lucas Shaw, so we'll.
And next up now we got Fabian Cassini there on the right versus Eric lowering at the Canadian. Cassini there, slightly back at the moment by a bike length. Let's see what's going to happen around the second section of this course. Both riders managing through nicely, jumping that last one. Waiting for that time to come out, and we'll give you straight away who is going to advance through. You can see Lopes there nursing that bad elbow.
Well, Lornock definitely had the advantage against Couscous from their first matchup. As we'll see what the scoring and timing puts it together here. So, all right, let's check in with Jackie Montgomery standing by. Jackie.
All right, guys, I'm up here with Mike Day. Now, I was asking Kyle earlier, your GT teammate, if you guys talked trash before. Now, but he said he hadn't seen you yet. So has there been any like back and forth now that you've had one round?
Not too much. Just all in a bit of good fun.
As he's smiling and kind of egging you on. Now, you are an Olympic medalist in BMX race. Does that give you any sort of advantage, your BMX background?
Yeah, I guess a little bit with all the rhythm sections and stuff, but this thing is hard to ride at full speed, so I'm just kind of just hanging on and enjoying the ride.
All right, good luck in round 2, guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you're not going to get, Mike Day is just a nice dude. He's not going to be trash talking anyone. Silver medalist from the Olympics.
Yeah, just watch Mike Day. You know, we haven't got the BMX start gate here. We saw Carl Strait with a slight advantage at the start gate.
I mean, no gates is for a reason, right? I mean, pump track started as kind of the backyard event, right?
Yeah, but now we've advanced it a little bit further. Mike Day was super smooth and consistent through the rollers. Carl Strait carries some good speed down that ramp. A bit like when you race me, Brad.
You're going to keep bringing that one up. All right, I'm ready for a rematch at some point.
It's okay. I'll take Cy out. Oh, Kyle going all the way into the edge of the course there, but Mike Day taking it again for number 2 here.
So is that an upset, guys? Mike Day over Kyle Strait?
I don't know. I'm happy to see Mike Day keep going.
No, definitely happy to see it. But I kind of thought Kyle Strait when I saw the two matching up.
And you know, we spoke earlier about the weapon of choice, Mike Day there. He is running the hardtail. Carl Strait on the full suspension bike. That's going to be soaking up a little bit of those bumps, even though he's going to have that pressure whacked right up to try and make it as stiff as possible. Extra weight and a little bit of suspension isn't going to pump through those jumps as good as the hardtail.
Nice one there, Cy. Next up, Sidney Slotcraft against Blake Carney. And on that one, Blake Carney is going to have the advantage going into it. So we'll wait till we get our scoring and timing all straight here. Welcome everyone out. Pump Track Challenge, big old party out here. Whistler Olympic Plaza. Tons of fans on hand. You guys having a good time? Of course you are. There we go, Blake Carney. You can see him on the left. Sidney Slotcraft on the right.
There we go into starters orders, and there off Slotcraft there. He gets a slight wheel ahead in front. Manualing so nicely. Trying to get the pump through, picking up that front wheel over those jumps, but he looks like he's slid out a little bit. Blake Carney, he's going to win that heat.
And that's also going to mean Blake Carney will advance on, taking advantage on both those matchups. Very close. That's going to do it for Sidney Slotcraft.
Blake Carney there, lives near the guys at Supercross. They make the BMX, super nice BMX frames, and they've got one real nice 26-inch mountain bike frame. Brandon Fairclaw on your left versus Walker Shaw.
I got this now, man. Fairclough, I got it.
You gave me a funny look there. Brendan Fairclough, come on, my man from England, riding that Scott Voltage.
You're not supposed to be rooting for anybody, man.
Hey, I'm a little bit biased. I'm British. You know what we like? We get a little bit aggressive when it comes to the home nation.
Yes, you do.
But Walkershaw trying to bring it back there, but Brendan Fairclough, he's going to advance through. Doing it for good old Blighty.
So Fairclough will be moving on. And I think we're going to be doing a rerun. I think we had a little timing mishap with Lear Miller and Lucas Shaw, so I think they're going to stack and rack those two competitors again in just a little bit.
36-year-old Juice Switchman there, sat on the plane with him, coming over.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Nice.
He's riding the Radon. Tried to do the EWS, but ran into a little bit of traffic up on top of the world and took himself out, I'm afraid. So Juice Switchman looking good as he crosses the line there.
And the winner, Juice Switchman, right there. And that means you'll also be advancing on the winner of our next matchup.
Yeah, you can see the world champs colors there on the bottom of his frame.
All right, let's check back in with Jackie Montgomery.
Barry Noble's about to drop in. Barry, you qualified in second. What's the secret to a fast time on this course?
I think it's just going to be smooth and consistent. There's a few different lines out here. There's a few guys jumping and some just keeping the back wheel down. I think come finals, we're going to be head-to-head. There's more guys are going to be pushing a little harder than they did in qualifying, and it's just going to be about just staying smooth and relaxed.
All right, thanks for the time, guys.
So Barry Nobles and Anton Wunsch going against each other here. What, are you guys looking at me? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, Barry Noble. He's in the gate on the left, just setting his pedal.
Remember, he's got the guns. Here we go.
Oh, here we go, and he's got the pace into the start. Barry Noble's looking good at the moment. He's coming through strong. He's coming through fast. Barry Nobles, you know what? I'm going to put my money on him. Take the win for the overall. Barry Nobles in one. Anton Wuschner there, the German. And you know what I was talking to his better half, Caroline. I gave her some tickets for the Pink Bike Booth VIP party because she thought he was going out early.
Look at you, big guy. Look at you, big guy.
Early in the slope and the speed and style. But he made 4th place, so he wasn't very happy when I told him that earlier that his girlfriend had no confidence in him.
Well, that's, of course you're not going to like that. Side just trying to get in their head, huh, Ryan?
You know, I'm just trying to get as many girls up here as I can, Brad J.
I see how you work it and you get food brought up here. You had ladies bringing food yesterday. I see how you roll up here.
Like how we just slided that in. I'm so VIP. I give out VIP tickets.
All right, we've narrowed it down to the top 16 for the guys. And we got more coming up for you. Enjoy the party that is your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. We'll be right back.
If the country is wild, get a 4x4. If the country is big, get a 9-speed transmission and 44 miles per gallon. If the country is rugged, get comfortable with full-grain Napa leather and technology to keep you on the right path. And if the country is Canada, get a Jeep Cherokee. Ajax 2014 Canadian Utility Vehicle of the Year.
The weekend's here and we're ready to roll. We kick it off and snag these new Bud Light Quickies. These slim cans get cold fast, then we head straight to the beach. When we're ready, they're nice and frosty. Watch the sunset by the fire and we break out the tunes. As the night cools down, things really heat up. Next day, we head to Dave's cottage, pop some quickies in the cooler. They get icy in no time. The games begin and TJ busts out a jig. Someone shimmies, someone shakes. We dance like nobody's watching, but everybody is. Summer's here and these little quickies get cold fast. Perfect for Bud Light living.
And back to the party that is your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Hey, put your hands together for all the riders out here. Come on, Whistler. Good old party. Let's take a look at things right here. We started out with 32. Now we've brought it back down to the 16, and that's how it's stacking up.
Come on then, Ryan. You're going to put some money on. Who's your name there?
The one Canadian, duh. Bas van Steenbergen.
Bas van Steenbergen against Adrian Lerone. That's a tough matchup right there. Tell you what.
You know, but I'm rooting for Bass. I mean, I really like
Yeah.
Bass and Tom, and I think they're super cool kids making it all the way over here. And well, I say making it all the way over here. They did a little move, a big move. The whole family moved from Holland over to Kelowna, so they've been very rooted. I mean, they're dual citizens, Canadian at heart.
Had to
so.
make the move. Here we go. Now take our attention back out top to the Pump Track Challenge here, presented by RockShox.
But Bass, come on, give it up for, well, kind of your Canadian boy in the finals here, Bas van Steenbergen versus Adrien Laurent, last year's defending champion.
This is going to be a tough matchup. Laurent with the edge off the start.
Yeah, Adrien Laurent there, edging himself out, getting his elbows wide over that little start straight, taking the advantage, which is something you must do on such close racing like this. And Adrien Laurent there, straight in front by 0.6 seconds.
Quite a big lead to make up on this, but I think maybe if the crowd gets behind him, Bas is going to be able to give him a run for his money.
He's just going to be tough to beat, though. I mean, we try to play up the finger and the broken thumb and saying that it's going to be tough for him, but he keeps saying that it's not bothering him and it's fine. It looks deformed.
I mean, it looked like he had a walnut for a knuckle, but yeah.
But other than that, it's good. Sharon Emeline from Uruguay, Paul Bass on the right. USA versus Uruguay. Here we go.
You know, what an international field we've got here, all the way from Uruguay. Would you expect that here at Crankworx Whistler? The answer is yes. Such a huge international field in each of the races here. But Paul Bass jumping it up, styling it out. He's going to lead this one by 0.8 of a second in front of the Uruguayan.
Paul totally shredding pump track this year.
Like to see that out of Paul Bass. Once again, your back-to-back winner, 04-05 in slope style. And now we take a look at Evan Giancopoulos and Matt Walker. Matt Walker's got a couple of second-place finishes in pump track.
Matt Walker, no stranger to this event, that's for sure.
So Walker on the right, Evan on the left. Here we go.
Yeah, the American looked like to be in the lead at the start there, but Walker is winding it back. He looks to be in the lead by the moment by about half a bike length. Here he comes through. Matt Walker taking this one by 0.3 of a second in front of Evan Giancopoulos there, the USA rider.
And that's going to be a tough matchup again for Evan to make up the difference with Matt Walker. His pump track skills so solid from 2013 second in Ladies Out, second earlier this year in Ladies Out. And that's against guys like Adrien Laurent, who's won it back-to-back. And it's against guys like Mitch Ropalato, so it's not a fluke that Walker is where he's at. Cody Johnson now and Tomas Lemoine up next.
And look at that for a backdrop. How can you beat that for a better racetrack? In the middle of town, just past the Olympic rings, Cody Johnson on your left there, styling out, but has he got enough style on the track, or is his style all in the wardrobe? What can Cody Johnson do? Nothing compared to Tomas Lemoine. Lemoine taking this 0.9.
You know what? I think you guys haven't been watching slopestyle enough, because if you do remember correctly, last event we saw Tomas Lemoine, zebra pants.
Oh, yes, he did go zebra. Yes, he did. Well, speaking of style, this guy's got a ton of it. Mitch Ropalato and the all-white gear.
Close to zebra, but a little more classy.
And talking of pants, can we just explain that pants are actually like boxer shorts, like briefs, Marks and Spencers?
We're not going to call it your pants trousers, okay?
There we go.
That ain't going to happen.
Soap on a rope, Mitch Ropalato there, looking like a snowman on course at the moment. Is he cool enough, or is he going to melt? Oh, that was a close one, Mitch Ropalato.
Oh, that was really close.
Oh, 0.03. That's tighter than a Celine Dion dinner dress right there between those two.
So Mitch, sorry, let me catch that right. Mitch lost there by 0.03?
Unexpected. Maybe it's the pressure of these BMX guys, the likes of Mike Day, Barry Nobles. They know are coming up. Like next there, Mike Day, Mr. 365 himself. Every day is BMX day for this guy.
Mike Day on the right.
Except for today, 364.
I
have to respray his helmet for him. I was sat on the chairlift the other day and I was having a nice chat with him. He said he struggled with his bike choice over there in France. He reckons he's got it dialed today. Here he comes, Mike Day, looking good for this last section, yes. Fabian Cusini there under pressure. We spoke about that earlier. You've got to stay cool with the rider next to you. Don't let the pressure get to you. Mike Day taking that convincing win.
Mike Day looking super solid. Put your hands together for Mike Day right there, taking the advantage on that one.
You know what, talking of big guns, we did see Travis Pastrana ride a 199. He was here earlier today, but unfortunately he didn't quite qualify through. I think he was still looking for the throttle on the bike.
Blake Carney on the left, Brendan Fairclough on the right.
10 out of 10, Brad J. Brendan Fairclough. Riding out of GBR, Great Britain.
Yep, the free racer of the world, Brendan Fairclough, coming in hot.
World's #1 free racer, currently on track. He is in the lead at the moment, but Blake Carney, oh, he's in second. Brendan Fairclough, 0.2 up.
So he's going to take the advantage. Brendan will have the advantage over Blake when they match it up again. And our next up going to be Juice Witchman and Barry Nobles.
Oh, this one's going to be close. You know, Juice Witchman, if you checked out my Facebook page, Simon Payton had a picture up of him and Anneke Beerten when Anneke was about 8 years old and Juice was about 10 years old.
Plugs all day long. Plugs.
Did he just call it? Did he just refer to himself in the third person?
Plugs, yeah.
He did.
I've got more plugs coming on than a DIY superstore. You wait out, guys.
Juice
Plugs and
Witchman.
awful puns, yep.
How do you follow that? Let's go back to racing.
Barry Nobles, he got his right elbow out there. He pushed Juice just to the side there, so Barry took the advantage, and look at it, he's made it pay. Barry Nobles taking the top spot. Juice Witchman in second by 0.4.
So the first round matchups here with the round of 16. So let's go at it one more time to see who moves on to the round of 8. And right there, Barry Noble's going to have his work cut out for him when he comes back at it again. All right, we're going to get them all stacked and racked again. We'll continue on with the super fun show going on, the Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. More when we come back. And beautiful Crankworx Whistler, day number 7 as the sun is setting, but not on this competition because we've narrowed it down to the top 16 for the guys. Second runs in the top 16. Bass Van Steenberg against Adrian Lerone. Lerone on the right, Bass on the left.
We are going to need to see some Canadian support. She's the last Canadian rider in the mix at the moment, Adrian Lerone, and it is pretty evenly matched.
Neck and neck in the first berm, and coming out, Adrian Laurent seems to be taking the victory on this one. It's definitely going to be Bas van Steenbergen, who is kicked out round number 2.
Adrian Laurent, they're looking almost like liquid, so fluid around the last part of that track. Kept it super smooth and dialed.
And it doesn't seem like he's giving her, like not giving everything he's got. He's doing just enough to keep moving on, to just kind of keep advancing on until maybe make it to the final. Our next matchup now, Paul Bass. There you see him on the left, Jerome Lean on the right.
Yeah, Uruguay versus USA. Paul Bass, the Whistler Crankworx legend that he is, on track. Is he leading at the moment? Yes, he is. He is in front of the Uruguayan rider. Paul Bass leading this one out. Uruguayan comes back and they almost meet. Oh, that is close racing. Look at that. 0.05 in it.
So Paul Bass will be moving on. The good news is Paul Bass is moving on. Maybe the bad news is he has to face Adrian Leroux. But Paul Bass definitely showing his skills out here on the pump track, killing it and moving on to the top, the Elite 8, if you will.
And there we can see the women lining up there. They're going to be racing shortly. Matt Walker on your left. Evan Giannaklis there, the USA rider, on your right-hand side. And we are dropping in, and we are racing Ultimate Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. What has Matt Walker got here? Can he do anything against Evan Giannaklis there?
And Evan's going to take the win right there, and Evan will be moving on. That's going to do it for Matt Walker. A little bit of a surprise there, seeing Matt Walker get knocked out.
Yeah, after such a good result there over in France. Matt Walker is going to have to put that bike away. He'll be all right for this evening. There's plenty of parties going on in town this evening here in Whistler.
Cody Johnson now, Tomas Lemoine up for you next. Tomas, the winner of run number 1 on the left. Johnson on the right. France versus USA.
Oh, look at that. Tomas Lemoine there, getting a cheeky little start there. He's leading this one at the moment, but as this rider, has he got enough style to come through? He's pumping through nicely. Tomas Lemoine, he's going to take out Cody Johnson convincingly with that 0.2 of a lead. Tomas Lemoine is going to advance the French rider.
And that's too bad. I was enjoying the outfit that Cody Johnson was rocking out here and that nice kit that he was going with today.
Ryan, what's your best ever outfit you've worn here for Crankworx Whistler?
I'll bet you there's some good ones.
What you've actually been able to wear outside, though, not just in the hotel room?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
G-rated show. Here we go. Next up, Mitch Ropolato on the right. Lear Miller looking like he's on a Hawaiian vacation there on the left. Here we go.
Lear Miller, though, he was up on Mitch Ropolato in last run, and looks like Ropadope is coming in strong here.
Yeah,
is it going to be enough to make up? Oh!
Oh!
Under pressure, shaking his head. Look, even, you know, the pump trap expert, the numero uno, the number 1, the one that they all fear, Mitch Ropolato there, making another mistake, caused him.
But still advancing on, so that's going to do it for Lear Miller. So he is dispatched, but it just shows you that, you know what, Mitch Ropolato, he's human. He can make a mistake, but still making it happen. Couscous against Mike Day. Mike Day, you can see them on the left, and Couscous on the right. Here we go.
Come on, my BMX boys. Yeah, I'm sat in their camp this afternoon. Mike Day there, he was slightly back, but look how he pumps that bike. Takes it through those berms, through the actual manual sections here. He comes through and takes that, even though he was slightly off at the first section. Mike Day came back super quick, taking the win there by 0.9, and he's going to advance through.
You know what's good about that is we're going to see a great matchup, but that's going to be Mitch Ropolato against Mike Day. When these guys match up again, when these guys get their first go at each other, that's definitely be a tough one. So now we look to Blake Carney. Brendan Fairclough.
Fairclough, correct, Brad J. Here we go, we are racing. Brendan Fairclough, the Scott Voltage rider, riding that Troy Lee t-shirt and helmet. He's coming through nicely now. Brendan, will he take this right-hand berm? Yes, he's through. Blake Carney in second place, I'm afraid. Brendan leading it by 1.4. Fairclough looking back, taking that convincing win. He's a happy man. We'll just check in, see who's going to definitely advance on that one. RC, Ricky Crompton there in the background, getting the GoPro action.
So scoring in time and just taking a second here. How you guys doing out here, Whistler? You guys enjoying it so far? That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you guys represent the way you do every single year here for the Pump Track Challenge.
You know, and the sun always shines at Crankworx Whistler. A lot of people still out there in T-shirts.
So getting word that Blake Carney is going to be advancing in on that one.
Oh, big matchup, this one. Look at this, some big guns in this one. Barry Nobles.
Nobles against Juice Witchman.
The BMX racer versus
Yost,
the
I think
four-cross
it is.
racer. Barry Nobles was leading this one out first round.
Yeah, you can see Juiced on the right there.
Barry Nobles there on the left in the black T-shirt. Last-minute adjustment, stretching himself out. We're under starters orders.
You can see the girls to the right. There's Jill Kintner getting ready to do her thing here in just a little bit. Going for the 5-peat for Jill Kintner.
Juice Wistman, no stranger to BMX. Raced for BMX for so many years. He's matched up against Barry Nobles.
And just working out the bugs here before we get our next race going here. Thanks for joining us. Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Hey, tomorrow, the giant dual slalom 5:45 webcast starting. There we go. Barry Nobles, the winner of run number 1 against Juiced.
Right, we are locked and loaded. These riders are ready. Here we go. Oh, this one's neck and neck. Juice Witchman, Barry Nobles there on course at the moment. Barry Nobles, he's going to come through fast on this one. He's going to take this.
So Barry Nobles taking the winner, and does that mean he'll advance on? Says Barry Nobles. Barry Nobles advancing on.
Yeah, great ride from him. Turning up from that BMX background, 2013, he was world number 8. You make that final, you get to ride the W at the front of your number plate, W8.
All right, let's check back in. 4th member of our team, Jackie Montgomery. Jackie?
Yeah, guys, I'm down here with Paul Basagoitia. Now, he is the only person to ever win the Joyride in back-to-back years, 2004, 2005, but you have never won here on the pump track. How bad do you want this one?
It's pretty chill for me. It's not something I come out and try to win. I'm just it's something to switch it up. And I mean, if I get on the podium and do well, that's pretty sweet. But like I said, I'm not here to try to win. I'm just having a good time with my buddies.
Just taking it mellow, you know, it's no big deal. Just, you know, have fun. But no, I just broke to you a couple minutes ago that you're going to be going in the next round up against Adrian Laurent, the reigning champion here on Pump Track. How's that make you feel? A little nervous? What's going on?
A little nervous just because actually we went head-to-head in Sea Otter and I ended up beating him, and I know he wasn't too stoked, so I'm sure he's gonna try really hard and try to beat me.
Maybe a little revenge is in order on his part?
Yeah, I got some work to do, so wish me luck.
All right, good luck, Paul Bass. Guys, back to you.
Don't let him fool you. Paul Bass is 100% serious. He wants this more than anything. Okay, well, maybe it's not like that, but here's the updated brackets for you as it's breaking down for the guys. We got it down to the top 8 now.
You know what's going to be so interesting? Look at that, Mike Day versus Mitch Rappalato.
I said that.
You know, when those two, whoever continues through, then it might be Blake Carney versus Barry Nobles. Wouldn't that be interesting? Mike Day versus Barry Nobles, BMX versus BMX. But look at the top there.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Just like dual speed and style, I think we might be able to have an All-American final again.
I like to see those flags out there. Here we go. Now the lady's going to be taken to it. Jill Kintner is going against Gillian McFetrid. Let's take our attention back to the start out here for you.
So let's talk about Jill Kintner there.
Going for the 5-peat.
5-peat. Is she unstoppable?
I think so. I think it's going to take someone just to really, really have an amazing day. Gillian McFetridge from Canada and Jill Kintner. So Kintner over there on the left.
Yeah, Gillian McFetrid there. Look at that, though. Jill Kintner straight into the lead. This is going to be a masterclass in pump track racing. She wants that 5-peat. She wants that medal around the neck for the 5th consecutive time, and she has opened the gates.
I'm telling you, she is nearly perfect when it comes to this pump track course. Like I said, she's going to be completely...
Tough going up against a rider like Jill Kintner.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it just sucks to have to draw her in the first race when you get up against, like, really? I got to go against Jill to start things off?
Yeah.
But you know what? That's Jill Kintner going for the 5-peat.
Right, and next up we should have Alana Colum versus Vea Verbeek. They're your next two riders up in the gates. Colum there on the left-hand gate. Verbeek there on your right-hand side.
And back to the racing for the ladies. Here we go.
Verbeek there, I was going to say in the check shirt. They're both racing in the check shirt. Verbeek in the red check shirt there. And these girls are looking fast at the moment. Alana Colum, then the New Zealand rider.
And she's going to take the advantage right there, Alana Colum.
No, maybe Jill Kintner's not going to have this all her own way. You know, later on we've got Anneke Beerten and also as well Caroline Buchanan, who was in the final last year.
I still say it's hers to lose out here today. And I know that maybe that's not really walking much of a plank, but it is Jill Kintner. She's going to be tough to beat.
Right, next up, she's turned into an enduro racer, Anneke Beerten. Raced a lot of the events last year on a 29er. She's definitely going to be on the 26er today. Riding in the vest there, Anneke Beerten, a specialized rider.
In the vest, eh?
Singlet, wife beater. Are we allowed to say that?
Tank top is okay too, if you'd like to say that.
Tank top, we say up here.
If you've got any more names for it, just tweet me on.
You know, a vest is actually...
Educate me on your wardrobe, Ryan. Educate me.
A sleeveless zip-up.
A sleeveless zip-up.
Man, am I taking fashion lessons from Ryan Myers?
You are, and that's a guy that you can take fashion lessons from.
You're too much of a hopeless case.
Talking of fashion, Caroline Buchanan.
Against Erica Lawson. Here we go. Australia versus Canada here.
Oh, talking about flashy pants. Got leopards in the house.
Hey, they might be cheetah spots. You know what they say about a cheetah? The fastest land animal, and that is Caroline Buchanan at the moment. Look at that for a link, boys.
Did you just put that together right there? I think it is about, you know, what you wear, too. Your kit's kind of important when it comes to pump track.
She had flashy pants last year, didn't she, as well?
I think she did, actually.
Pump track's where you get the flashy pants out.
Looking good, Caroline, looking good.
All right, well, more racing coming up for you. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for joining us at home, watching us. It's the Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. We'll be right back. Coming up right after this.
The country is wild, get a 4x4. If the country is big, get a 9-speed transmission and 44 miles per gallon. If the country is rugged, get comfortable with full-grain Napa leather and technology to keep you on the right path. And if the country is Canada, get a Jeep Cherokee. Ajax 2014 Canadian Utility Vehicle of the Year.
The weekend's here and we're ready to roll. We kick it off and snag these new Bud Light Quickies. These slim cans get cold fast, then we head straight to the beach. When we're ready, they're nice and frosty. Watch the sunset by the fire and we break out the tunes. As the night cools down, things really heat up. Next day, we head to Dave's cottage, pop some quickies in the cooler. They get icy in no time. The games begin and TJ busts out a jig. Someone shimmies, someone shakes. We dance like nobody's watching, but everybody is. Summer's here and these little quickies get cold fast. Perfect for Bud Light living.
Started out with 32 dudes and now narrowed it down to the Elite 8 now. Adrian Leron going against Paul Bass.
Don't leave out the girls, Brad. Don't leave out the girls.
Okay, yeah, not leaving out the girls, but now we're just switching direction here for the guys. Adrian Leron, Paul Bass. Thoughts, guys?
Ooh, Paul, you got it, man.
Okay, Si?
I'm going to say Adrian Leron, even with that thumb injury. Last year's winner, he was looking super, especially down the last part of the course. He doesn't seem to get phased out. Keeps it flowing.
Didn't Paul say he already has taken out Adrian
Sea Otter? He said he beat him at Sea Otter. Here we go. Paul Bass on the right. Adrian Leron on the left.
Oh,
Bass
Paul.
with the jump.
Bass is in front.
Yeah, Paul Bass got the snap out the start gate there. Can he hold it? But look at Adrian Leron. He's coming back fast.
What? Oh, point.
Oh, man.
I thought it would have been a lot closer than that, but 0.13.
When we're talking about racecraft, you need to take my advice, Ryan.
Indeed.
Okay, how about I go whoop your butt on pump track and then you start listening to me? Who wants to see me kick size butt in pump track?
Next year. Let's get it done.
Always fanning off, always fanning off.
No, I will make sure it happens
What a
too.
baby.
I got connections. I want you two to race. Okay?
I'll talk this side guy, I'll talk.
Evan Giancopoulos.
Look, man, I even told you, like, you can go have your practice day, go have an hour of practice. I'll just run it cold turkey and still whoop
Hey,
you.
we're racing, guys. Back to the action.
Here we go. This is it. The Ultimate Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Giancopoulos and Tomas Lemoine there. And taking the win.
Lamont definitely taking the win there. Fast French boy, protege of Yannick Ranieri almost.
So he will take the advantage there. But the next one, let's really talk about this. We have time to. Mitch Ropalato against Mike Day.
Oh.
Good versus evil.
I am
Well,
not going to
really.
call. I am not going to call this one. You know, both. You know, Mitch Ropalato raced a lot of BMX when he was a kid, but look at Mike Day. He gets the pump through, carrying a little bit of extra weight and acceleration due to that extra weight that he is carrying over Mitch Ropalato. Who's going to be the smoothest? Who's going to be the fastest?
It's Day. Ropalato goes down.
Oh, Mike Day takes out Ropalato.
Ropalato there
Getting
doing
those white pants a little dirty.
Doing some breakdancing.
Wow. Now, we saw Ropalato have a little trouble last year, and he was going for that three-peat. So getting those white jeans a little bit dirty right there for Ropalato.
The way he went down, I thought he was going from the rotation into the windmill. Do you remember those breakdancing days?
Yeah. Ozone and turbo. Nice.
Guess what? I was born in
Oh,
1988.
here we go. We've got a child sat next to us, a child.
Blake Carney, Barry Nobles. Nobles right, Blake Carney on the left there.
Here we go, we are racing. Look at Barry Nobles. He gets his nose down, he gets that wheel in front. The airborne BMX rider racing his 26-inch today. Here he comes. Carney is on the back foot at the moment. Barry Nobles leading this one convincingly with a time of 0.5 up onto Blake Carney.
Very dominant back section from Barry out of.
Now back to the ladies here. To your Elite 8. Kintner getting back up in there, switching sides.
But you know what? This track is still super tight. Anything can happen. We saw what happened with Mitch Ropalato, the pump track expert, the guy that delivers the masterclass every time. So Jill Kintner here.
I like how you're playing it up, Si. Keep it going. Here we go.
Hey, it's racing. Anything can happen.
Anything. Look,
mechanicals.
We saw Ropalato go down. I mean, things can happen. Adrian Laurent, we saw him. He had a crash and laid his out.
Yeah, that was very unexpected to me. I thought Laurent was going to go for the three-peat already and that was up.
Kintner on the right. Fettridge on the left.
A cameraman just bobbing to the beats.
Tunes provided from DJ Science. Busting out the tunes for us. Been doing it for some time.
Cool. Does he do requests?
I don't think so.
Oh, I fancied a bit of Wham or something like that. I used to dance to a bit of that, didn't you, Brad J, back in the day?
DJ Science,
Please,
do not
please
listen
don't
to
play
him.
anything. I do not want to see side dance.
Fettridge versus Kintner. Here we go. Kintner with the jump.
Yeah, Kintner, no surprise there. She's out in the lead at the moment. Look how smooth she is. This is going to be a masterclass in pump track racing. Jill Kintner going for the fifth time win. Here she comes through. Safe and sound. But put your hands together, though. Great performance by Gillian McFetridge there, the Canadian rider.
And unfortunately, that's going to end her day with 2 runs out here. And Jill Kintner will be moving on in the quest for the 5P that we've been talking about.
And then there was Flannel. And high socks.
Via Verbeek, Elena Colum, Canada versus New Zealand. Here we go, back to the racing action, your pump track challenge.
Oh, Van Veerbeek there, getting the elbows out. You've got to do that. You've got to stomp down. You've got to make sure the other rider knows exactly who's in charge on the track and that first start straight. You can see it's only about 1.5 feet wide. Oh, Colum there is going to get disqualified. You have to finish on the same side of the course that you started on. So she's going to be, I say, DQ'd, but yeah, I don't know what that means. She's just going to go an early exit, I do believe.
And our next matchup getting ready to go here, your pump track challenge presented by RockShox.
Nice vest.
Anneke Beerten there on your right-hand side, the Specialized rider, riding in the singlets.
Also known as a tank top.
That's even worse.
Brittany White left. Anneke Beerten,
Singlet.
Netherlands on the right. Here we go. USA versus Netherlands here.
Oh, look at that. Anneke Beerten there getting a commanding lead and tending to jump that first jump into this corner now. Look at this. She is super smooth, looking absolutely fluid through the rest of this track. Anneke Beerten taking this one so easily in front of Brittany White, the USA rider, by over 2.2 seconds.
And so that's going to do it for Brittany White. Got the game faces on. As Erica Lawson on the left, Caroline Buchanan on the right. Canada versus Australia. Back to the action.
Yeah, dropping in, look at that. Caroline Buchanan jumping slightly to the right, making sure she owns the track. Caroline Buchanan riding in the singlet there. She's coming through strong. The airborne rider. 5 World Championship titles she holds. I think it's 3 in BMX and 2 in 4-cross. Right, no more mentions of singlets, vests, wife beaters, or whatever you guys call it, all right?
Oh, I want to talk about
tank
leopard
top, man.
pants.
Just really go with tank top,
Let's
please.
just focus on the game ahead. and if-
Adrian Laurent, Paul Basagoitia. That's the game, isn't it?
There we go.
Game face, game day.
Game face.
Paul Baz there on your left-hand side in the yellow T-shirt. Next to him, Adrian Laurent there, the French rider.
Remember now, he's got the advantage going into this. Not by much, but he definitely has the advantage over Bass.
And listen to the tunes Lemmy.
All right, we'll be right back with that matchup. Adrian Laurent versus Paul Bass, their second matchup. We'll be right after this. We'll be right back with more racing.
You miss me? I miss all of y'all.
I can see it the way you like. I can do it the way you want. Ride it, my motorcycle. You got a license. You got the right to.
And we're getting a re-race, just getting word from the officials that it looks like Blake Carney and Brendan Fairclough will have to go at it again. So we will match those two up, and the winner, whoever moves on, will be facing Barry Nobles. There's Adrian Laurent and Paul Bass. They're gonna take a back seat for just a moment. Here at your Pump Track Challenge, presented by RockShox. Ryan Meyer, Cy Payton, Brad J. with you on the mic.
And don't forget the gorgeous fourth member of our team,
Jackie Montgomery.
Jackie
Sound Mike
Montgomery.
checking in with all the riders out there. These guys are having a good time. All right, so we'll be seeing Brendan Fairclough now. He did move on, so he'll be going against Barry Nobles.
So, yeah, just to take back our correction, we're not doing a re-rack.
We're not doing a re-rack after all.
Brendan Fairclough went through.
I'm just making up stuff now.
Clean as a whistle.
I'm just kidding.
But look at this, Brendan Fairclough, free rider extraordinaire. Versus Mr. BMX, Barry Nobles.
I think he's leading the board for free racer of the world.
Well, do you think the BMXers have a little bit of an edge out here in a pump track challenge, guys?
I would say so, you know, though. Oh, let's just go around with the race now. Barry Nobles, he's in the lead at the moment. Brendan Fairclough, oh, he's gone down. Down like a ton of bricks. Brendan Fairclough is out at the moment. Barry Nobles, he's gone through. Brendan has gone down badly, I'm afraid, but we have got the best medics available here. They'll be looking after him. RC, Ricky Crompton there. British rider, first on the scene. And Seb, Mr. Crankworx Whistler, looks after a lot of the Fat Wednesday races. We're looking after the courses here. So, yeah, we'll make sure Brendan gets all the support.
Just like we were saying, it's not an event that you think you're going to go down, and a lot of the riders aren't even wearing pads for this stuff. Just really unfortunate to be able to see a nice man like Mr. Fairclough going down. It looked like that was a pretty hard hit as well.
Yeah, you know, those berms are pretty tough, and, you know, and they're so bowled out. It's such a tight radius. You know, the way the riders swoop into that, and it's got to be so precise the way that you land onto these trails. You get it wrong, bonk the front wheel, and it can all be over very quickly, as we saw that happen with Brendan Fairclough. But, you know, Barry Nobles was straight over there offering his support.
Yeah,
so,
you saw that. That was good.
You know, that's what this community is all about, bike racing. It brings people together. But, you know, he's moving his legs around, so we won't guess what's happened. He's going to hopefully set up. Come on, folks, put your hands together. Brendan Fairclough going down big. He's going to get to his feet. He's going to be able to walk away from that. Put your hands together. Brendan Fairclough, a true trooper.
Trying to shake that off. One more time. Put your hands together for Brendan one more time. Come on, Whistler. Let's hear it for him.
Yeah, he's a tough old cookie. I've known Brendan for around about 12, 14 years. He'll be back up. Don't know whether they will be racing the next one. He needs to have a word with Mitch Ropolato's mom, see if she can get him to wash his T-shirt for him.
All right, let's check it. All right, we're getting our next two competitors stacked and racked up there in the start area for our next matchup.
Ryan, what is it with all these beards? Tell me, what's the deal?
That's a big beard.
Yeah, that's a couple years there.
Adrian Lerone on the right, Paul Bass on the left. Lerone the winner of run number 1, 0.13 the difference. Bass has got to make it up.
Yeah, Paul Bass there in the yellow T-shirt. He's got to stay in the lead by 0.1 of a second if he can advance on Adrian Lerone. Lerone is coming back, though. Who's going to take this one? Oh, this is going to be close.
Oh, this was really close.
Paul Bass. And Paul Bass defeats Adrian Lerone. Paul Bass will be moving on.
You just do not get closer than that. Paul Bass knocking out last year's winner, Adrian Lerone. Still friends, though, but is that a big upset for the night?
Sorry, Lerone, but Paul Bass is taking you 2 down. I think there's going to be a grudge match soon, probably next time at Sea Otter. But give it up for Paul Bass, everyone.
Yeah, Paul Bass, 27-year-old Danish rider, riding that Scott Voltage. He's going to progress through. Next up, winner of run 1, Tomas Lemoine, the French rider, versus Van Giannopoulos there. Tomas Lemoine there, he's in the lead. Look at this, he's into that right corner. He's already a bike length in front of Van at the moment. And looking good, looking strong across the line. Tomas Lemoine there, the French rider.
And he'll be moving on. He'll be facing Paul Bass. They match up, so those guys will be going at it.
Yeah, and this is quarterfinal heat 2.
And the winner of that matchup will earning themselves a spot in the finals. Now we got Mike Day and Mitch Ropolato. Mike Day with the advantage. Mike Day, you can see him on the left. Ropalato on the right.
It looks like it's actually raining outside.
Yeah, so even though Ropalato was down on the floor for 5 or 6 seconds, they only give him a 1 second time penalty to try and make it a fair competition. Look at Ropalato coming back strong there.
Wow.
Is it going to be a second? No, it's not. 0.6 down for Mike Day.
And Mike Day is going to advance on because Ropalato went down in that first matchup on him.
Wow,
so Mike Day moves on.
2 big upsets that we've had here. Mitch Ropalato and Adrian Laurent just bumped out.
Yeah, that's right. So if you do crash out big time on your first run, the maximum time penalty they will give you is 1 second just to try and keep it competitive for the second run.
And now we go up top for the ladies to be getting their thing going on here. Jill Kintner will be locked and loaded here.
Well, we've just found out, news just in, Brendan Fairclough has retired. Barry Nobles gets a bye, so that means he doesn't need to ride. He's going to take an early one for the moment. Sometimes we ask the riders to do a little lap, but I think they're just going to ask him to sit at the side. Brendan Fairclough is going to sit this one out, and quite sensibly too.
Yeah, you know what? You have a fall like that. Probably the smart thing. Aaron can decide of caution from Brendan on that one.
It's definitely starting to spit out here, so hopefully the weather gods are going to be able to hold off enough so we can finish down to the final heats.
So if it is going to rain, we might have to get the dolly brollies out. These two sat next to me have no idea what a dolly brolly is.
Dolly brolly.
Can you stop talking gibberish?
Yeah.
A dolly brolly is a young lady
I
that you
don't
might
really
see
need
at the Formula One.
A brolly. Okay.
PG. Side, just stop.
A nice lady that holds the brolly for you when you're racing. Think MotoGP,
Okay.
Formula One. Jill Kintner on track at the moment.
Now I know what it is.
A brolly. I thought that's a dolly.
Well, the dolly holds the brolly. Right?
Who's on first?
Am I right?
Jill Kintner there looking good out of the USA. This is the semi-final heat 1, riding that 302 plate on that Norco international team that's headed up by her husband, Bryn Atkinson. Next up, big guns, Anneke Beerten out of the Netherlands versus Caroline Buchanan out of Australia.
In the first matchup between these two. Now, here we go. Back at the racing here. Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox.
And look at that, Anneke Beerten. You know, you've got to try and beat the lights out the start gate there. We've got the starters call. So anyone that can get the quickest snap is going to take the advantage down the start straight. And Anneke Beerten there loses out to Caroline Buchanan, who is the winner of run 1 there.
So that'll be the advantage that she will have when they match up one more time. We'll see who goes to the big final, who goes to the small final.
Mr. Brett Tippy down there, Mr. Energy himself. Man, that guy is electrifying.
Take a look at the brackets right here. This is how it's playing out.
Paul Basagoitia versus Tomas Lemoine.
You get your final 4 right there.
And Mike Day, Mr. 365 versus Barry Nobles, BMX versus BMX, the 20-inch boys. Educating themselves on the 26 inches today.
So you can see that 3 Americans coming up in the final 4 here for your Pump Track Challenge. There's Paul Bass. You can see him out on the left-hand side. And Tomas Lemoine on the right.
Oh, that's a pretty even start in my books. You can't split that one, but who's going to go into the first corner first? And this one is a close one at the moment, but Paul Bass, is he coming through? He's slightly back. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Pressure has took him. He's gone out that second corner. He's gone down. He's hugely disappointing, Paul Bass there.
Yeah.
And Tomas Lemoine there.
Well, it says 0.06, so did he cross? Or are we just having a little time?
I was busy looking at him crashing there, but I'm pretty sure Tomas Lemoine went through. This one, folks, this has got final written all over it, and we are still only in the semi-finals. Mike Day there on your left versus Barry Nobles. Mike Day carrying some height advantage on Barry Nobles here. This is going to be a close one. Barry Nobles, he gets the snap, pushes it across. Barry Nobles, these two are going to be super fast. Do not get blinking for this semi-final. Who's going to take round 1? Look at that, Barry Nobles, he goes through in front of the big man Mike Day. Does this course suit a smaller person over a bigger rider? Don't you two look at me like that. There's not very nice.
Yes, I agree with you. It does suit a smaller person.
It's,
so
it's a
this would
very
be good for you.
tight course.
If you two are going to carry on, I'm going to put this microphone down. I'm going.
All right,
I'm off to the
run.
GLC if you two are going to pick on me like this.
Second run matchup here for the ladies now in the Final Four. The winner will move on to the big final.
We know why you're going to the GLC. I mean, while you're going to the Longhorn, actually.
we know
I think there's another type of competition going on. It involves a thigh gap.
We won't even cover that one. Here we go. Jill Kintner gets the snap.
Oh, yeah, this is it. Jill Kintner there. She just cannot be beaten at the moment. She is looking 100% confident. Look at this. 5, 6 bikes in the lead. Vea Veerbeck there, the Canadian, can do nothing but look at the back of Jill Kintner.
So Jill Kintner will move on to the finals in her quest for the 5-peat. And Veerbeek will just have to settle for the small final. So we looked up to Anneke Beerten and Caroline Buchanan now. Buchanan on the left, Beerten on the right.
And this would be interesting. Caroline Buchanan, if she progressed through with Barry Nobles, we could have a Mr. and Mrs. on the top spot. Wouldn't that be unique?
That would be something we haven't seen. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Elbow to elbow racing. This is pump track racing at its finest at the moment. It is neck and neck. Caroline Buchanan on the right-hand side there. Anneke Beerten. Oh, no, she's back. Caroline Buchanan taking that one by 0.28 of a second.
So that means that she'll be advancing on to the finals. So put your hands together for Caroline Buchanan. She'll be going to the finals against Jill Kintner.
Caroline Buchanan, look, on the devil pedals, the SPD. She's clipped in for this. She means business. Wow, you gotta love pump track racing. This is where it is at.
And here we go, Paul Bass. It's Tomas Lemoine now.
Paul Bass on the back foot at the moment after crashing out on that last berm. The pressure is on him. The guy in the yellow t-shirt on the right-hand side of your screen there. Paul Bass versus Tomas Lemoine.
Free riders racing up against BMXers. So, I mean, we're gonna have one of both on these.
That's one of the craziest thing about Pump Track Challenge is you get a lot of that. You get different matchups like that.
Yeah, it brings people from all disciplines, BMX, downhill, four cross, even a bit of enduro as well. Hashtag enduro, I should say.
Hashtag enduro.
Hashtag enduro.
You're getting hashtag crazy.
Hashtag over it.
Speaking of hashtag, how about you hashtag Crankworx? Hashtag Crankworx. So you want to follow on Facebook, you want to follow on Instagram, you want to follow on Twitter. We got you covered there too as well. That's at Crankworx.
Right, we are going racing. Tomas Lemoine there on your left, the French rider, Paul Bass. With that big crash, though, they've only given him a 1 second penalty.
The maximum.
Maximum penalty to still keep it competitive. We are off. Paul Bass on your right-hand side. He gets out of the gate first, but look at Tomas Lemoine coming back strong. And Paul Bass there, he's only left in that yellow t-shirt. He's going to ping it back. Is he going to be a second in the lead, though? Has he done enough?
Oh, I don't think that's going to be enough for him.
0.02 of a second.
No.
Not going to be enough for sure.
Paul Bass is going to go to the small final, compete for third, and Tomas Lemoine is going on to the finals.
Yeah, so we do have, you call it small final, I call it a B final. You say tomato, I say tomato.
You say brawley, I say umbrella. Did you say
I
vest,
say tomato.
I say tank top?
I say tomato. I don't know where you're from.
Aluminium.
It's aluminum.
I'm outnumbered here. People help me out. Help me out.
You're not going to win this one.
Right, this is the one that I want to watch. Barry Nobles on your left, currently winning at the moment, but only by 0.2 of a second to Mr. 365, Mikey Day. We are going in. Look at that, Barry Nobles. He's out in front at the moment. Big Mike Day, Mr. 365 himself, running that very distinctive Red Bull helmet. Here we go into the last corner. Who has got the style? Who has got the skills? Barry Nobles it is, by over half a second. Barry Nobles is going to advance.
So Barry Nobles will face Tomas Lemoine in the finals. Those two will go head-to-head. Paul Bass now will be facing Mike Day. The battle for third place, the final spot on the podium. Small final right now via Verbeek and Anneke Beerten. Here we go.
Yeah, small final, B final, so it's still going to race head-to-head on either lane. They will swap over after this one. Anneke Beerten there, the specialised rider, coming through fast. She's going to make this one. She's going to lead this one start to finish. Vea Veerbeck there back in 1.02 seconds.
So she'll have the advantage on that one in the small final. So trying to get that final spot on the podium. We'll be doing the awards after we finish up. Now we send it upstairs to Jill Kintner and Caroline Buchanan. Buchanan on the right, Jill Kintner on the left. In the final, Jill going for the 5-peat. A good start here would get a good advantage from her. Here we go, Jill Kintner.
Yeah, Kintner getting a slight head advantage there. The elbows were locked and loaded. Here we go. This is racing at its finest here at Crankworx Whistler, the ultimate pump track challenge.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, that is an upset right there. Caroline Buchanan, second last year. She's got something to prove. Jill Kintner there. She is on the back foot at the moment, somewhere she's not familiar with.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, it seems like she's had her way every single year for 4 straight. And this time she's going to be left to try and work from behind and see if she can get back in there and take the win on their second matchup and make up the difference and take the 5-peat.
This could be a huge upset for Jill Kintner there. Going down in the record, but she's still a legend there of Crankworx Whistler. It'll be a long time before somebody else racks up 5 consecutive wins in this event. But look at the scoreboard at the moment.
There you go, Tomas Lemoine and Barry Nobles. They're in the finals together. Paul Bass and Mike Day in the small final, going for that 3rd place in that final spot.
This is going to be some close racing. Whistler, do not blink for this one.
So I think we would probably do it would be Paul Bass and Mike Day would be the 2 to match up here in the small final first. As we got some, yeah, you can see Bass getting up in there.
And you know, it is slightly raining, but we've got a little bit of drizzle here. That's not going to affect that wooden start run, but into some of these berms, I don't see it getting too slippy just yet. The rain isn't coming down too much. You can see a spot there landing on the screen.
Here we go. Mikey Day on the right, Paul Bass on the left. The small final, USA versus USA.
Small final time, Paul Bass, he's out in front at the moment. Mr. 365 Mike Day there on the GT. The Danish rider, he is out in front at the moment. Look at that, Mike Day coming back from nowhere, taking the lead by over 2 bikes.
Paul slipped up after berm number 1 there and went off course a tiny bit, so that's where the mix-up happened.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right, Ryan? I mean, you have just even a little bobble, and that's going to take you out of the mix.
Totally, and especially on such a small and short course like this, it's really hard to make it up after one little mistake.
Yeah, you know, and they're going to phase the riders out a slight bit, you know, with this straight rain. You can see it drizzling down now. Will affect the riders mentally, physically. Will it change anything in those berms? Very hard to say. They are running pretty high pressures in the tyres, semi-slick tyres. They're going to roll fast, but there's very little grip on those tyres.
France versus USA. Barry Nobles on the right from the US. Tomas Lemoine in France on the left.
Oh, Barry Nobles putting his BMX skills into place. He is out of the gate first. Here he comes. Barry Nobles around that last corner, jumping through. Tomas Lemoine.
Wow. So Barry Nobles going to take the advantage when they match up again. So Barry Nobles doing what he needs to do to try and come away with the big win out here.
By 0.66, giving the knuckles there to Mikey Day.
One thing is, for the guys, we're definitely going to have a different winner when it's all said and done. Anneke Beerten via Verbeek now. Beerten, here we go, back to the racing for the ladies, small final.
Yeah, B final time, Anneke there. Look at her running those RockShox forks. They're working well for her around this first corner. Over these bumps, pumping smooth, pumping nicely. Anneke Beerten there, she's going to take the small final, the B final, by over 0.4 of a second. She is going to win that one. She is going to take 3rd place here at Crankworx Whistler for the Ultimate Pump Track Challenge, presented by RockShox.
So Anneke Beerten, big congratulations goes to her. It's going to come away with that bronze, coming away on the podium, getting that last spot on the podium. Now back up to the drama here. Jill Kintner, Caroline Buchanan. Buchanan in the way of the 5-peat. Can Jill Kintner make it up? Here we go, back to racing.
Kintner there in front. She's on the back foot at the moment. She needs to make that time up. What can she do? Caroline Buchanan, she needs to stay focused. So does Jill Kintner. Who's going to take this one? Buchanan. She's going to lead this one out, the Australian rider.
So Caroline Buchanan getting the unofficial win right there and standing in the way of Jill Kintner trying to do the 5-peat. So good stuff out of Caroline Buchanan. Put your hands together for her. She's going to take the win, and Jill Kintner is going to come away in second. All right, we'll see if Jackie Montgomery can get on in there. Jackie Montgomery standing by with our winner.
Caroline, you just knocked off the reigning 4-time pump track winner. How are you feeling right now?
Good, you know, Jill's a veteran. She's got so much experience here, and last year her experience won it over me. So this year I practiced my starts with my clips and got that part dialed and learnt to no break it and be a true mountain biker, and it paid off.
Congratulations, Caroline Buchanan, your Ultimate Pump Track Challenge champion.
Nicely done. And she said, look, she got beat last year. She wanted to get back in there, and she did just that. Now we got Mike Day against Paul Bass. Mike Day with the advantage. Day is on the left, Paul Bass on the right. If Mike Day could take this one, he will not only do that, but take third place and get himself on the podium. Mike Day, Paul Bass.
We are racing. Mike Day drops him. As we said, he wants that third place. He was hugely disappointed out in France. Can he make something of his big trip here to Whistler? Can the BMX guy do it over the mountain bike guy? Yes, he can. Mike Day taking the win here over Paul Bass.
And so Mike Day will earn himself a spot on the podium. Put your hands together for Mike Day getting that third place, and let's hear it for Paul Bass as well, ending up in fourth. So now what that does is it comes down to this one right here. Barry Nobles versus Tomas Lemoine. The advantage going to Barry Nobles from their first matchup. This is for all the marbles. This is for the gold. Nobles on the left. Tomas Lemoine on the right. Got to make up .62 right here.
We are going racing. Here we go. We are on track. Barry Nobles, the national dual champion, the world #8 BMXer from 2013. Is he going to match it with Caroline Buchanan's time? With the result there, Nobles comes through. He's going to take the win. Tomas Lemoine goes second. We are going to have a Mr. and Mrs. on the podium.
Oh, let's hear it for Barry Nobles and Tomas Lemoine right there. That's how it plays out. Barry Nobles will take the win. Good stuff out of Barry Nobles, guys.
Yeah, Barry Nobles there, fourth in the speed and style. Look at that, congratulations there. Caroline Buchanan first over there to put her arms around him and give him a big kiss.
How sweet is that? Barry Nobles with the win, a new winner here at your Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. For so long, it's Mitch Ropalato. And of course, we had Adrian Larone take care of business, but that's how it all plays out, all said and done. Barry Nobles, the gold, Tomas Lemoine, the silver, and Mike Day rounding it out with the bronze. Let's send it down to Jackie. Send it by with our winner. Jackie?
Barry Nobles, how does it feel to be the Ultimate Pump Track Challenge champion for 2014?
Oh, it feels great. I've actually, there's a few pump track events I've done in the past, like 4Cross Worlds. I've always been the BMXer that came in there and I always make a mistake, just choke in the semifinal or something. And even that time I came out, had a little ass buzz in the first one, then did it again here and thought I lost it, but just like I was talking about earlier, I tried to just keep it smooth the rest of the track and took the win.
Winner you are. Congratulations, Barry Nobles, your 2014 Ultimate Pump Track champion. Congratulations.
Oh, indeed. Congratulations are in order. Good stuff. Barry Nobles taking the win. Tomas Lemoine in that second spot. Mike Day third. Caroline Buchanan, of course, in the top spot. Jill Kintner taking second. Anneke Beerten. Some thoughts there, Si. Did you expect it to be that way? I thought we'd see Adrian Larone possibly getting back on the podium.
You know, Mitch Ropalato, certainly Adrian Larone. It's so hard to call on such a tight technical track. The riders really have proved themselves today. But look at the guns on Barry Noble. He can hold on to a bike. He knows how to pump that through. And what a story that. You couldn't write that down, could you? Caroline Buchanan, his girlfriend. Barry Noble's there, the boyfriend, taking the top spot.
Girlfriend, boyfriend taking the win out here. What do you say about that,
That's
Ryan?
probably the first time ever in history of Crankworx. I mean, we're always having first these days, it seems. Got something new going on all the time, and really nice. I think that's a fun thing to go home to.
Indeed. Some good stuff out here, Si.
We've already had another first as well, Brad J. You've called Brendan Fairclough's name correctly.
Oh, I'll tell you what. All right, well, let's break down your schedule for tomorrow. Giant dual slalom is coming your way. Giant dual slalom going to be taking place 5:45. Going to be the start time for that tomorrow. That's be the webcast start time, 8 p.m. will be when we wrap things up. But you guys, final thoughts for you, Si, first.
Pump track racing, as I said, it's been my favourite event this afternoon. You just can't beat it. It really is all about the skills of the rider, and it's true racing, one-to-one. You just can't beat it in my eyes.
Right,
it's such a good amount of racing going on. I love seeing that when riders don't just have one race and go down. So re-rack, I love that slalom format thing. Just a fun event overall. And thanks to RockShox for putting it on.
Yeah, big props to RockShox making it happen. Pump Track Challenge presented by RockShox. Started it back in 2010. It just keeps getting bigger and better every single time. Hey, make sure you join us tomorrow. Giant dual slalom. The webcast's going to kick off at 5:45. It is going to be something you definitely don't want to miss. On behalf of Ryan Meyer, Cy Payton, and of course, Jackie Montgomery, thanks for coming out here. Pump Track Challenge in the book. I'm Brad J. Good night now from Whistler.